The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Welcome, one and all, to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as we get you set from beautiful Haymarket Park. So I've already messed up 3 times in Lincoln, Nebraska for this rubber match between the Lincoln Salt Dogs and your Kansas City T-Bones. The T-Bones come to this matchup after dropping last night 3-2 thanks to a late home run by John Smith. Kansas City took the first game of this series 4-3. And today on the mound for Lincoln is Matt Larkins, who was one of the ultimate snubs from the All-Star team. So I'm still trying to figure out what the criteria they use for that, because if you just look down the list, there's something funky going on. Larkins comes in with the 3rd best ERA in all of the American Association. He is 6-2 this season with a 2.21 ERA. In his 11 starts, he's picked up 1 complete game and struck out 53 while walking 15. A big righty on the mound for Lincoln as they come in leading the Central Division at 33-24. Kansas City is 7.5 games behind them in 4th place in the Central Division as they're 26-32. Kansas City will return home tomorrow to start a 6-game homestand, 3 games with Winnipeg and then 3 with Gary South Shore. Starting lineup for Kansas City goes like this. Tyson Gillies is leading off and playing left. Brett Wiley follows him playing second. He's followed by Tyler Massey playing center. Jake Blackwood playing first. Anthony Gallus is the DH. Nate Tinbrink playing third. Vladimir Frias is at short. Brian Erie gets the nod behind the dish, and Dalton Wheat is in right field. That brings up Tyson Gillies, who went 1 for 3 yesterday with the run scored and 2 RBIs, as he was the one that accounted for all two of the T-Bones runs, thanks to him hitting his 2nd home run of the season last night in the 6th. It'll be righty versus lefty, Larkins being the righty. First pitch. Larkins takes his time. Fastball that Gillies pulls to second. Second baseman plays it on the funky hop, but the first pitch of the game retires the first T-Bones batter 4-3. That brings up Brett Wiley. Last night, Wiley went hitless, going 0 for 4. That's probably the weirdest thing you'll ever hear me say all season. So far on this road trip, Wiley is batting 14 for 38, which comes out to a .368 average. He scored 5 runs, knocked in a home run, and 3 RBIs. First pitch, righty versus lefty, is inside, but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Wiley checking with the umpire to see where that was, because surely that wasn't in the zone. The 0-1, Wiley sends it right back up the middle, and he's on with a 1-out single as he picks up where he left off. Yesterday being his cold day, he proves that was just a fluke, as he's on first with 1 out. That brings in Tyler Massey. Last night, Massey also went hitless, going 0 for 4. So far on this road trip, Massey is batting .270, which is 10 for 37. He's picked up 3 runs, scored 4 multi-hit games, and an RBI. He comes on now with a runner on first and 1 down. Righty versus lefty yet again. First pitch from Larkins. Massey shows bunt, gets it down the left field line, but foul. No balls, 1 strike. Around the diamond, the Salt Dogs are set up like this. Connor Takel at third. Danner Marrera at short. Tyler Earps at second. Rene Leverett getting the nod at first. Outfield left to right goes Brandon Jacobs, Robbie Coosdale, and Austin Darby, while Luis Allen gets the nod behind the dish. Lincoln wearing an alternate uniform That's really just an American flag, as they have the stars on their shoulders and the stripes across their chest with the white hat, white pants. The 0-1 is outside. We're now even at 1. Kansas City wearing their all grays with the oxblood lettering with the black helmets and black hats. Wind has been relatively dead, but the very few that it is blowing from right to left. Larkins comes set with the 1-1, gets the sign he likes from the stretch, fires it, and Massey fires it foul, 1-2. Last time out for Matt Larkins. So the game that he lost at Laredo on July 15th. Lincoln only lost that game 1-0. He took the loss, going 8 innings, allowing that 1 run and 11 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 4. The 1-2 is inside and blocked by Allen. We're now even at 2. Larkins played his ball at California Riverside. Currently resides in Corona, California. He was born in Australia. Same as Josh Tolles, who is currently with Team Australia, representing them in a tournament. The 1-2. Massey sends out to right field. Darby retreating slightly. It's over his head. It's at the wall. Brett Wiley will be held up at third, and Tyler Massey is in there with a 1-out double, putting runners on second and third. As Tyler Massey sends that fastball right back into right field. One hopper off the wall. Darby plays it perfectly and keeps the runners still in scoring position with 1 down. By the way that Darby reacted to the ball, it looked like he was going to bring it in easily, but then just kind of let it go by. I think that's what Brett Wiley saw, too, as he was really hesitant to continue on the base pass. But nonetheless, 1 out, runners on second and third for the powerful Jake Blackwood. So far on this road trip, Blackwood is batting .1039 with a .256 average. His 3 runs have all come on 3 home runs. He's picked up 7 RBIs along the way. First pitch, righty versus righty, is outside, 1-0. Last night, Blackwood went 0 for 3, which snapped his 6-game hitting streak. So far this season, Larkins is 6-2 with a .221 ERA. And 73 in the third, he struck out 53 while walking 15. So those have vastly improved since last season, as he didn't have a bad season last season. That's outside. 2-0 out of Blackwood. Last season, he played for Amarillo, and he went 8-5 with a .326. His 23 starts came out to 152 innings pitched. He did 3 complete games while striking out 88 and walking 32. So far this season, Jake Blackwood is batting .256, scoring 29 runs, knocking in a team-leading 10 home runs and also a team-leading 44 RBIs. Called strike is in there, 2-1 out of Blackwood. Larkins is a big boy on the mound. Numbers may not show it at 6'1", 220. He is a big guy. That's in the dirt. 3-1 as Blackwood now has a pitch to play with. As Anthony Gallus finds his way into the on-deck circle. Matt Larkins already at 12 pitches with 1 out and runners on second and third, as we're still scoreless here in the first, but that's likely to change. Infield guarding the lines, not playing in at all. The 0-1, the 3-1, I should say. Sent out to center field. Coosdale, he had an outfield assist yesterday, comes in. Wiley trying it, and Coosdale can't get it past the pitcher's mound. And that'll bring the first T-Bones run in as they lead 1-0 with 2 down and a runner still out on second. It appeared when Coosdale threw it, he lost his footing as he hit the ground, and it just kind of rolled into the infield. Rene Leverett looked out there like, really? But the T-Bones will gladly take that as we lead 1-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runner still threatening on second. That brings up Anthony Gallus, who got the day off yesterday. Gallus has been struggling on this road trip, going 2 for 30, which comes out to an 0.66 average. He has scored 3 runs, though, and gotten on base with his 5 walks. First pitch is a fastball in the outer half, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Larkins has played the last 3 seasons in Amarillo, and in his career, he's gone 30-17 as Gallus sends a 1-hopper to third. It's off of him, and that'll put it runners on the corners now as Takel really didn't hustle to get to it as it bounced off his chest. Tyler Massey ran like right over the ball. But runners on the corners now at 2 down, so it'll be interesting to see how they rule that. So we still wait on official word. Still waiting. While we wait, that brings up last year's organization player of the year, Nate Tinbrink. It'll be lefty versus righty, Tinbrink being the lefty. In Tinbrink's return from the disabled list, which started with this series, he's gone 2 for 8 in this series, batting .250. 1 for 4 in each of the first nights. They do rule an error that Anthony Gallus reaches on. First pitch is inside, 1-0. They ruled an error on the third baseman, Connor Takel. The 1-0, Tinbrink gets under it and sends it into right field. Outfielders coming in. Darby calls off Coosdale and brings it in for the third out. But not before the T-Bones pick up an early run. Thanks to a sac fly RBI by Jake Blackwood as Brett Wiley touches home as the T-Bones lead 1-0 through half an inning here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. As we'll see Lincoln get their first time with the bats in their hands, they'll face the reigning American Association Point Streak Pitcher of the Week, Josh Hodges. Righty versus righty to Robbie Coosdale. First pitch is in the dirt, 1-0. So far this season, Hodges is 3-4 with a 4.53 ERA. In his 12 appearances, 10 of those being starts, he struck out 28 and walking 24. Next pitch is in the dirt as well, 2-0. During his time with Kansas City, he's 1-0 with an ERA of 1.80. In his 2 starts, he's picked up 15 innings pitched and struck out 8 while walking 3. The 2-0 is in the dirt, 3-0. Last time out for Josh Hodges, he faced his former team, the Joplin Blasters. He picked up the win in a T-Bones 11-1 win. He gave up that 1 run and 4 hits while walking 1, striking 5 out. The 3-0 is by Erie, and that walks Coosdale on 4 pitches. Hodges possesses a nasty heater, a slider, and a changeup in his 3-pitch repertoire. He'll start out with the fastballs and get the hitters off balance with his slider. He'll toss in the changeup every now and then just to go off speed. That brings up Luis Allen. Last night, Allen went 3 for 4 with a run scored and scored all 3, well, brought home all 3 of the Salt Dogs' runs, including a solo home run in the bottom of the 7th. The game that the T-Bones would end up losing 3-2. Series is tied at 1 with Robbie Coosdale on first. No one out here in the bottom of the first. First pitch, righty versus righty. It's a fastball called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Hodges was a 7th-round draft pick by the Florida Marlins out of his high school in Albany, Mississippi. He is a big boy on the mound at 6'7", 235. He checks on Coosdale at first. Coosdale dives back safely. He spent every professional season except for this season in the Florida Marlins organization. Miami Marlins, Florida Marlins, same thing. And in his last season, he reached Double-A and Single-A. Umpire calls time with Allen and Hodges both freezing each other. In 2015, he went 4-4 with a 3.06 ERA. He made 34 appearances. Only 3 were starts. Picked up 10 saves, and in 64 2/3, struck out 59 while walking 27. Hodges checks on Coosdale. Coosdale back safely. Elsewhere in the American Association, 1 game's already completed at Sioux Falls Stadium. Fargo drops that game to the Sioux Falls Canaries. Lewis and Clark Park, they're getting ready to start. Joplin at Sioux City at Airhawk Stadium. They're getting ready to start that as well. Wichita, Texas, is a fastball inside, 1-1. And at U.S. Steel Yard, Laredo will be playing at Gary South Shore. All those that start in about 10 minutes or so. After this game, Kansas City will return home for the 6-game homestand. First 3 against Winnipeg, then the next 3 against Gary. Allen lays down a bunt down the third baseline. Tinbrink barehand fires it over for the first out. Robbie Coosdale advances to second as Luis Allen did his job. That brings up Brandon Jacobs, and he's the guy that you're happy to see back out on the field as he took a pitch from last night's starter Jordan Cooper to the left side of his jaw. Obviously, if you know Jordan Cooper, you know that it wasn't in a malicious intent. Cooper just has a pretty, not Cooper, but Jacobs has a pretty big welt on his left side, but everything appears to be fine. Righty versus righty. First pitch. Fastball inside, 1-0. Jacobs was a former top 50 prospect in the major leagues during his time in 2012 with the Boston Red Sox. The 1-0. Jacobs gets under it and fouls it down the right field line and out of play. We're now even at 1. Last night, his 11-game hitting streak was snapped. And since he did leave the game early after being hit by a pitch in the head, that kind of shut the door on it. The 1-1. Jacobs sends out to shallow right field. Wheat charging, but Wiley doing the same and brings it in very shallow right field for the second out. That brings up Rene Leverett, who went 0 for 3 last night. on the season. Leverett is batting .318 with 28 runs scored. He's knocked in 6 round trippers and 33 RBIs. He sees the ball well, walking 35 times and only striking out 25. Righty versus righty from the two imposing figures. First pitch, breaking balls at the knees, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. I say imposing because Josh Hodges is 6'7", 235. Rene Leverett measures in at 6'3", 280. He was a former farmhand in the Minnesota Twins organization. As the 0-1 is outside. The count's even at 1. The T-Bones line up like this defensively. Ten Brink at third, Frias at short. Brett Wiley at second, Jake Blackwood at first. Outfield left to right goes Gillies, Massey, and Wheat, while Brian Erie gets the nod behind the dish. And what Brian Erie gives you that Steve Swingle couldn't, and Swingle developed this over time, is that Brian Erie's been around for a while. He's going to know how these hitters hit. As Leverett hits that into left field, Gillies barely needing to move, brings it in for the third out. Lincoln gets a runner on thanks to a walk, but he's stranded on second. So the T-Bones lead 1-0 through 1 complete here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. As Vladimir Frias led things off and sent a chopper to Morera at short, the ball got into shallow left. Morera gave up on the play, and not really sure why. As showed a lack of effort and a lack of, I don't really know what to call it. Just looked like he didn't care. And Vladimir Frias advances to second on what will surely be ruled an error. It did take a funky hop, so I could see how they would want to call that. So we wait on official word. That brings up Brian Erie. Erie getting the nod after Steve Swingle started the previous 2 games. They do rule it an E6, putting Vladimir Frias on second. First pitch to Erie is outside. 1-0 as Kansas City leads 1-0 with no one out here in the top of the second. Corner infield's playing in, expecting a bunt from the T-Bones backstop. The 1-0 righty versus righty. Erie comes up swinging and just misses, fouls it off into the catcher's mitt. Counts now even at 1. Kansas City doing a lot of first pitch swinging against Larkins, a guy that doesn't get behind in the count very often. He does take his time on the mound, which is probably one of the more irritating things. The 1-1, Erie fouls it off his hands down the first base line. Counts now 1-2. Quick scouting report on Matt Larkins. He doesn't really keep the release point. It's usually very various. His best pitch is either his cutter or his changeup, and he throws both of those when he's behind in the count. His fastball typically reaches at 88, and it's not a 4-seam, 2-seam, or a cutter. He throws the sinker as his primary fastball. And he possesses an average pickoff move. 1-2, Erie lunges for it and grounds a two-hopper to Leverett at first. Leverett looked to throw to third. Thinks better of it and just steps on first for the first out. That brings up Dalton Wheat, who had a big day yesterday, going 2 for 3 with a run scored. And on this road trip, Wheat has only had 19 at-bats, and he's gone 4 for 19, which comes out to batting .210. He scored 2 runs, and 2 of his 4 hits have been extra base hits, a double and a triple, and he's picked in 2 RBIs as well. He did score one of his runs yesterday. First pitch, righty versus lefty. Wheat being the lefty is outside, 1-0. With Matt Larkins typically throws, the runners in scoring positions, is his sinker, and he usually puts it in. As Dalton Wheat sends that down the left field line, but just foul. And now he's even at 1. Vladimir Frias on third with the T-Bones leading 1-0 with 1 out here in the top of the second. So far this season, Dalton Wheat is batting .301 and 83 at-bats. He scored 8 runs, still searching for his first home run, and knocked in 16 RBIs as he chops that over the third baseman's head. That's fair, and that'll score a run as Dalton Wheat knocks in an RBI single to put the T-Bones ahead 2-0 with 1 out here in the top of the second. And that brings up the top of the order, Tyson Gillies. Gillies has been someone we're going to have to get used to seeing at the top of the order for Kansas City, and he's one of the exciting hitters on this team. He took the first pitch of the game and sent a shot to Earps at second to ground out, but if it would have gotten by him, we're talking extra bases. First pitch is on the outer half, called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Matt Larkin sitting at 26 pitches with the runner on first and 1 down as the T-Bones lead 2-0 here in the top of the second. Righty versus lefty, Gillies having the advantage. Infield at double play depth, outfield spread out and deep. The 1-0 is high, 2-0 now to Gillies. Actually make that 1-1. Larkins finally comes set. His average pickoff move to first. Wheat diving back safely. Dalton Wheat picked up his first career stolen base last night. He's 1 for 3 on the season. The speedster from just outside of Wichita. One is inside, 2-1. Tyson Gillies does have an open stance. Batting out of the left-handed batter's box. Gillies steps out to try to get in ahead of the veteran Matt Larkins. Matt Larkins has been around in this league for a long time, spending the previous 3 seasons in Amarillo. He knows a few of these hitters and knows what they don't like and don't like. Tyson Gillies is not one of those. So next pitch is outside. 3-0. Gillies is spending his first season in the American Association, coming to us by way of Sugar Land in the Atlantic League. Before that, he was a long-time favorite in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. He's got a pitch to play with now. 3-1's the count. On deck for Kansas City with 1 out is Brett Wiley. 3-1 is outside, and Gillies will sprint to first as he's walked to put runners on first and second. That also puts speed on the base pass for Kansas City with the dangerous Brett Wiley stepping in. Runners on first and second, 1 down. T-Bones leading 2-0 here in the top of the 6th. Wiley is already 1 for 1 today with a single and a run scored in the first. Righty versus lefty. So first 3 hitters for Kansas City are all left-handed against the right-handed Matt Larkins. First pitch is outside, but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Outside, count's now even at 1. Outside, 1-2. Righty versus lefty. Runners on first and second and 1 down. Wiley pulls that down the right field line. That's fair and going down the line. Wheat rounding third. Gillies being sent home and told to hold up at the last second. Brett Wiley brings the run home on the RBI double. Putting runners on second and third with 1 out as Kansas City has gotten to the 3rd best ERA pitcher in the American Association, Lindsey Coggy. And we'll see the pitching coach come out and talk to him as they try to figure out what's going on. Stay tuned to the T-Bones Broadcast Network with these messages from our sponsors.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Tyler Massey will get things going with runners on second and third and only 1 out as the T-Bones lead now 3-0 here in the top of the second, scoring a 1 in the first, now 2 so far in the second. They're still threatening with 2 runners in scoring position. Righty versus lefty. First pitch to Massey is outside, 1-0. Massey has already picked up a hit today. He doubled in the first, but was ultimately stranded at third. The 1-0 is outside, make it 2-0. Matt Larkin struggling early against the T-Bones. A 2-0 is inside, make it 3-0 against Tyler Massey. On deck for Kansas City is the 4-hole and ever-powerful Jake Blackwood. To get him an opportunity with the bases loaded could be huge. Tyler Massey surely taking all the way here. The 3-0 with only 1 out, runners on second and third. He does take, but it's a cutter on the outer half. From up here, it looked outside, but it's called strike. Can't ride the umpires too hard, as that's kind of just a gut call. Today's umpires, by the way, first base umpires Brian Child, third base umpire Joel Hispatka, and home plate umpires Jordan Sandberg. The 3-1 is outside, and that loads the bases with Tyler Massey walking. Matt Larkins continuing to struggle. No action up in the Salt Dogs bullpen. That brings up Jake Blackwood. This is the second time this road trip that Jake Blackwood has come up with the bases loaded. The first time was in the second game at Joplin. Game the T-Bones would win 11-1. And coincidentally, Josh Hodges was also on the mound for the T-Bones. And Jake Blackwood launched a grand slammy. Comes on now, speed on all bases. Gillies on third, Wiley on second. Massey on first. Righty versus righty. First pitch to Blackwood is inside. It almost hits him. He gets out of the way in time. It's now 1-0. Kansas City leading 3-0 here in the top of the second with one out. Blackwood does not have an official at bat yet, as in the first. Picked up an RBI on the sacrifice to center field that scored Wiley. Oh, 1-0. Blackwood sends that to deep left center. Coosdale retreating. He's on the track, but brings it in for the second out. Gillies tags up. Runners all advance as Wiley's in there sliding on the hard slide. Massey advances the second, and the T-Bones now lead 4-0 as Jake Blackwood has picked up his second RBI of the game on another sacrifice to center field. And with two down and with one swing. Righty versus righty. Gallus does have 21 RBIs on the season. First pitch is low, but called strike. No balls, one strike. Gallus is also second on the team in home runs with 9. The 0-1 is fouled back. Now Gallus is behind. No balls, 2 strikes. He's batting 167, 1 home run, and 6 RBIs and 18 at-bats. The 0-2 is fouled back into the net. He'll remain alive. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 down. Runners on second and third. T-Bones leading 4-0 here on the top of the second. T-Bones looking to take this series from the Salt Dogs in this rubber match. They dropped last night to even the series at 1 in this 3-game series. The all-time series is also tied at 49. The 0-2. Gallus pops in the air in shallow right field. Darby surely going to bring it in on the routine. He does. And Kansas City scores 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 Lincoln error. Kansas City leads 4-0 actually, through 1.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore as the T-Bones lead 4-0. As we head to the bottom of the second, we'll see the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Lincoln: Tyler Earps, John Smith, and Diner Marrera. First pitch to Earps is outside, 1-0. Last night, the former Wichita Wingnut went 2 for 4. I asked him before the game how this time in Lincoln has compared to his time in Wichita. He says it's very similar as that fastball paints the corners. No balls, 1 strike. Said he's enjoyed his time in Lincoln. We talked a little bit about his time in college. He comes from the same conference as I do. As Earps swings and misses on that heater, 0-2. Attended Yavapai College. He was a Rough Rider in his season there. Made it to the JUCO World Series and was a runner-up. The 0-2, Earps fouls it back. Count still, no balls, 2 strikes. Yavapai College won the Junior College World Series this season. And they've provided enough talent in the major leagues to sustain for a while, with Cole Calhoun and Kurt Schilling being the 2 famous. The 0-2, Earps goes down swinging for the first out. That's also Hodges' first strikeout of the game. To retire Earps with 1 out now here in the bottom of the second, we see John Smith. John Smith came in to play for Brandon Jacobs in left field after Jacobs was hit by a pitch in the jaw. In his limited time, he went 0 for 1. First pitch to Smith, fouled back, no balls, 1 strike. Be righty versus lefty, Hodges being the righty. Last season, John Smith helped Troy Rivieras to the Can-Am League Championship as he flies out to center field. Massey waving off Gillies in left center for the second out. And now we see Diner Marrera. The Lincoln shortstop made a costly error last half inning, and yesterday he went 1 for 4. Raising his average to 244. Righty versus righty. First pitch. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. No balls, 1 strike. So far this season, Marrera's batting .244 with only 6 runs scored as he sends that out to Frias, and it'll be shortstop grounding out to shortstop for the third out. As Josh Hodges sends the Salt Dogs down 1-2-3. T-Bones lead 4-0. So we head to the third here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. T-Bones lead 4-0 as we head to the top of the third. And we'll see the only T-Bone that didn't come up to bat in the second. And that 2-run second, Nate Tinbrink. Tinbrink is 0 for 1 today after flying out to right field in the first. He went 1 for 4 in his first game back. It'll be righty versus lefty. Tinbrink being the lefty. First pitch is inside, 1-0. In Tinbrink's last action before he went to the disabled list was clear back in June at Laredo. He went 1 for 4 then as well with the run scored. The 1-0 is down the middle of the plate. Counts now even at 1. The 1-1 as Larkins is now working quickly. Is low, 2-1 in the dirt. Nate Tinbrink being a longtime member of the Seattle Mariners organization when he was drafted by them in the 7th round out of Kansas State University in 2008. Native of Olathe, Kansas. The 2-1, he swings and misses. Counts now even at 2. During his last season in affiliated ball, which was 2014, playing in Rookie League, Low A, and Triple A, batted .278 with 3 home runs and 19 RBIs and only 90 at-bats in that injury-plagued season. He also scored 11 runs. The 2-2, Tinbrink swings and misses, and he's down on strikes to start the third. Kansas City still leading 4-0 here in the third as they've picked up 4 hits and no errors so far. Lincoln, no runs, no hits, and 2 errors. And that brings up the man that got everything started in the second, Vladimir Frias. He reached on an error by the other shortstop, Diner Morera. Frias also came around to score the first run in the second run of the day for the Kansas City. First pitch, he sends out to third base. Takel dives and fires over, and he really didn't need to dive. I think he just did it for the fanfare for the second out. Everybody here saying that was a fantastic play. And all he really did, he got the ground ball, and then he fell over. It's kind of what it looked like. And I mean, it was a good throw, but, like, let's calm down here. It was no gold glove play. If anything, I'll give him the bronze glove. As Brian Erie steps in now for the T-Bones. Erie's 0 for 1. He did advance Frias to third in the second, but grounded out to first. First pitch, righty versus righty. As Erie sends out to Morera. Morera fields it cleanly this time and fires to first for the third out as the T-Bones go down 1-2-3 on 4 pitches. T-Bones still lead 4-0 through 2.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Networks. We get set to begin with the T-Bones leading 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. First pitch to Austin Darby is inside 1-0. We'll see the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Salt Dogs. Darby followed by Takel and Coosdale. Last night, that's low 2-0. Darby batted out of the 5 hole and went 0 for 4. He played his college ball here at Haymarket Park. He was a Nebraska Cornhusker, 2-0 on the way. Darby sends it out to the other right fielder. Right fielder flies out to right fielder for the first out. That brings up Connor Takel. The former Rice Owl is batting into the 9 hole today, so we've seen him all over. Even at one point batting in the 2 hole in the first game of this series. Last night he went 0 for 3 with the run scored. Like I said, Takel did play collegiately at Rice University, where he's a 3-time CUSA champion, making 4 NCAA tournament appearances. Righty versus lefty, Hodges being the righty is high, 1-0. This is Connor Takel's rookie season. The 1-0. Takel rolls over and sends it down the first baseline. First base umpire saying it's fair. Blackwood takes it in and steps on it, taking care of it himself, as there's already 2 away here in the third with the T-Bones leading 4-0. And now due up for Lincoln, we'll see Robbie Coosdale, who's the only Salt Dog to get on base today, when he walked on 4 pitches to lead the game off. He reached second, and that's as far as he got. As it appears Josh Hodges has settled in. First pitch, righty versus righty. Erie setting up outside, gets it right to him where his glove was. No balls, 1 strike with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Don Mazzarelli will know Robbie Coosdale well as the 0-1's on its way. Coosdale lines that into left field, and the no-hitter is broken up. Robbie Coosdale reaching on the 2-out single. The T-Bones leading 4-0. We'll see Luis Allen come on now. Allen sacrificed Coosdale over to second in the first. Luis Allen was named to the All-Star game, as were 3 of his teammates as well. Going for Lincoln is Luis Allen. Like I said, Rene Leverett, Lindsey Coggy, and Evan Reed, who picked up the save last night. And correction, Kurt Smith is going and not Rene Leverett. First pitch, righty versus righty. Erie setting up inside. Hodges checks on Coosdale at first. He dives back safely. With the North All-Stars being released yesterday, Kansas City does not have any starters in there. First pitch is outside and called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Starting at first is Angelo Sonko from St. Paul. He's joined by Tony Thomas at second. Nate Sampson is from Sioux City. He's playing short. Josh Mazzola from Fargo is starting at third. Jose Gonzalez from Gary is behind the dish. David Rome, Alonzo Harris, and Curry De La Cruz make up the outfield, while Kurt Smith from Lincoln gets to start at DH. Allen fouls it back. No balls, 2 strikes. That is also the same team that Mark Haynes, the only representative for the T-Bones, is on. Pitchers he's joined by are Tyler Alexander from Fargo, Lindsey Coggy from Lincoln, Mark Hamburger from St. Paul, Connor Overton from Sioux City, Colton Rivas from Fargo, Evan Reed from Lincoln, Ryan Roadbaugh from St. Paul, Charlie Rosario from Gary, and Rob Ward from Sioux City. The 0-2 with a runner on first. T-Bones leading 4-0. Hodges checks on Coosdale at first. And he dives back safely. Luis Allen does have ambush power when he pulls it. His weakness is the slider, which Josh Hodges possesses. His bat gets real weak on the changeup, another pitch that Hodges possesses. Does not strike out often, goes opposite field with 2 strikes. And he does it right here over the head of Wiley for another 2-out single, putting runners on first and second. Back-to-back singles with 2 outs, but a runner in scoring position. The tying run on deck here in the bottom of the third, the T-Bones leading 4-0. Coosdale on second, Luis Allen on first. That brings up the 3-hole hitter Brandon Jacobs, who's 0 for 1 today after popping up to Wiley in the first. It'll be righty versus righty. Frias covering the hole at short. Nobody holding the base runners. Wiley now sneaking in. First pitch from Hodges. Jacobs goes swinging and missing on the off-speed. No balls, 1 strike. Hodges, being a former top 50 prospect in all of baseball in 2012, finds his way to the American Association. He also has pull-side power, but he really struggles with the off-speed, which is why, as a former top 50 prospect, never found his way to the majors. As he pulls that over the head of Frias, Gillies charging. They hold Coosdale with Gillies having a cannon. Gets it in, it's past Tinbrink. Hodges recovers, fires it to catcher. Erie can't get the tag, and Coosdale slides in safely. You would have to think they'd rule that error on Nate Tinbrink, as the throw from Gillies was on target. Tinbrink just couldn't handle it. T-Bones lead now cut 4-1. And runners on the corners. Jacobs picking up the RBI. He reaches on the single. 3rd straight single for Lincoln. As the fan favorite, Rene Leverett steps in. Leverett is 0 for 1 after flying out to left field in the first. Bill Selby will come out and talk to his right-handed flamethrower. And we'll be right back to these messages from our sponsors on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. T-Bones leading 4-1 here in the bottom of the third with 2 down. Rene Leverett up for Lincoln with runners on the corners. Robbie Coosdale scored on what's been ruled an error by Tyson Gillies. First pitch, he gets under and sends it into deep left. Tyson Gillies still retreating, but brings it in on the warning track and takes care of business. As the T-Bones surrender 1 run on 3 hits. T-Bones still lead 4-1 through 3 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. T-Bones lead 4-1. That inning in last half inning where the Salt Dogs scored a run had been initially ruled on Tyson Gillies on the throw-in, but it since has been changed to Nate Tinbrink. That is Tinbrink's third error in 3 days, as he's had one in every game of this series. Dalton Wheat will lead things off. The 9-1-2 hitters do it for the T-Bones. First pitch to Wheat is outside, 1-0. Dalton Wheat is 1 for 1 today with an RBI single in the second, and he also came around to score. Here comes the 1-0. Wheat rolls over and sends a three-hopper to the second baseman. Earps to Leverett for the first out. We just heard the organist play, I don't know the song name, but you never remember the Titans. The na-na-na-na, hey, 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 goodbye. It's the first time I've ever heard that, and the organist, God, not going to lie, I kind of liked it. It's Tyson Gillies. Finds his way into the box. Gillies is 0 for 1 today. First pitch, righty versus lefty. Gillies takes the first pitch and sends a screamer to the second baseman, who corrals it and fires it to Leverett for the second out. That brings up Brett Wiley. Brett Wiley's college summer league team, the Battle Creek Bombers, named him as the best second baseman in their team's history as the first pitch is low and called strike, no balls, 1 strike. They named him to their all-decade team. That came following his sophomore season at Jefferson College, which is the JUCO he played at in Missouri. Next pitch is low, 1-0. 1-1, actually. Wiley emerged as one of the team's most consistent offensive threats when he arrived on June 1st. He recorded at least 1 hit in 45 out of 67 games, including 20 multi-hit games, in a season where he helped the Bombers win the 2011 Summer Collegiate World Series Championship. He finished third on the team in batting with a .318, hit 67, double 13, and tied for third in runs scored with 41 and led the squad in triples. He compiled 25 RBIs and scored 7 runs in the Northwoods League playoffs. He was selected as both the Northwoods League and midseason and postseason All-Star. He swings and misses. Counts now 2-2. And, of course, he was drafted in the 13th round in 2012 by the St. Louis Cardinals, number 420 overall. A 2-2. Wiley rolls over and fouls it off to stay alive. 2-2. Dan Brink is joined on that team by Dave Sepelt. Played a season in the major leagues, Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. He sends it out to right field and brought in on the warning track for the third out. As the T-Bones go down 1-2-3 in the fourth, they still lead 4-1 through 3.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We'll see the 5, 6, and 7 hitters do it for the Salt Dogs.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore with the T-Bones leading 4-1 as we get set to begin the bottom half of the fourth. First pitch to Tyler Earps. We'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up is called strike. No balls, 1 strike. It'll be Earps, Smith, followed by Marrera. Tinbrink playing in at third. The 0-1 is way inside. We're now even at 1. On Josh Hodges' career, during his time in the independent leagues and affiliated ball, he's 36-40 with an ERA of 4.13 with the 1-1. Earps fouls it back, 1-2. He's appeared in 168 games, starting 103. Has 1 complete game, 17 saves. He's pitched in 668 1/3 innings. Along the way, he struck out 453 while walking, 218 as that's inside. Counts now even at 2. He's allowed 364 runs. Only 307 of those have been earned, though. So he's averaged 6 strikeouts a game for his career. So that's outside, and now the count's full. On deck for Lincoln is number 19, John Smith. Lefty versus righty, Hodges being the righty. The payoff pitch. Earp sends over to shallow right, and he's on to the leadoff single, the 4th single that Hodges has allowed in 2 innings. Hodges gave up 3 straight singles to Coosdale, Allen, and Jacobs. Jacobs brought Coosdale home in the 3rd. It was an unearned run. Kansas City still leading 4-1 with the runner on first, and John Smith now up for Lincoln. Smith is 0 for 1 after flying out to center field in the 2nd. The first pitch is outside, 1-0. John Smith helped Troy's Rivieras to the Can-Am League Championship in 2015. While doing so, he played all 96 games in 2013 with Troy Rivieras, where he hit .249 and 16 home runs, 55 RBIs, and 18 stolen bases. So far this season, he's hitting lefties better than righties. Hodges being a righty, he's hitting .233 off righties. He's also batting .229 with 8 home runs and 30 RBIs with 3 stolen bases. Though 1-0 is outside, counts now 2-0. Infield playing at double play depth. Tin Brink way off the line. Outfield playing straight up. Massey slightly shaded to the left. The 2-0. Smith goes swinging, trying to send it into the right field drink station. Comes up empty. Counts now 2-1. Sunny day in Lincoln. Clouds just now starting to appear. Wind died down to almost nothing. On this hot day that reached 100 degrees at one point in Nebraska's capital. The 2-1 is not a pitch at all, but it's a pickoff move over to first. Earp's back standing. John Smith stays in the zone. He hits the off speed well, but you can beat him with the fastball. And he more than times than not pulls the ball. The 2-1 is high, 3-1. On deck for Lincoln, it's number 7, Diner Marrera. So far this series, John Smith is 1 for 5. In his last 10, he's 7 of 23 as he fouls one off that's in the dirt. We'll take that gift. The count's now full. Runner on first. T-Bone's leading 4-1 with no one out still here in the bottom of the 4th. Previous 2 nights' games moved along quickly. This one appears that it's going to take its time. Last night's total time was only 2.5 hours. A payoff pitch, runner on first, infield at double play depth. Hodges checks on the runner at first. He's back standing. If anything's going to happen, this might be the time for a hit and run. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Smith strikes out. Earps has the opportunity to steal the bag. Smith walks. Earps is in there with just the walk. And Smith gets a hit. Earps just returns. Smith pops that in the air down the left field line and out of play. Onto the concourse. Count remains full. He gets set for the 7th pitch of this at-bat. The runner on first and no one down. The payoff pitch once again is in the dirt and Smith walks, putting runners on first and second for the 7-hole hitter, Diner Marrera. And you would have to think that Marrera is more than likely going to bunt here with no one out. Runners on first and second. The T-Bone's still clinging to a 3-run lead, 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th. So far today, Marrera is 0 for 1 after grounding out to the other shortstop, Vladimir Frias, in the second. It'll be righty versus righty, Tin Brink in on the grass. Marrera showing bunt already. First pitch. Bunts it off of his foot. And that really had to hurt. No balls, 1 strike so far this season. Marrera's batting .244. I think that .243. With 3 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and no home runs. This series, Marrera is batting 1 for 8. Runners in scoring position. He's batting .148. Not that it matters to them showing bunt again. The count's no balls, 1 strike. He lays that down the third baseline, but tails foul. Counts now no balls, 2 strikes, and he's forced to swing the bat. Ball goes foul again. That's a strikeout. It's not like if he's swinging and fouls it off, it doesn't really count. But with your showing bunt and foul it off again, you're gone. Runner still on first and second. No one down. T-Bones leading 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth. Righty versus righty. Erie set up inside the 0-2. Marrera swings and misses, just trying to send that anywhere. And that's the first out. Second strikeout of the game for Hodges. That brings up Austin Darby, the former Cornhusker, is 0 for 1 today after flying out to right field in the third. First pitch, righty versus lefty, Hodges being the righty. Infield at double play depth. First pitch. Paints the outside and low corner. No balls, one strike. This season, Darby is batting .252 with 14 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and 2 home runs. The 0-1 is outside. Counts now even at 1. So far this series, Darby is hitless, going 0 for 7. In his last 10, he's batting 5 for 22. He hits righties worse than he hits lefties, batting .257 against righties. Hodges is a righty and steps off to make the runner stay honest. And with runners in scoring position, he's batting .240. He comes on now with runners on first and second and 1 out. T-Bones leading 4-1 in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-1, Hodges comes set. Erie setting up outside. Hodges gets it to him way outside. Counts now 2-1. The 2-1. Darby loses the bat. Stays on the field, nobody harmed. Swings and misses, counts to even now at 2. When Josh Hodges got drafted out of high school from Ingomar Attendance Center in New Albany, Mississippi, he was watching the draft, but his phone was dead, so he couldn't receive the phone call. And then when he got on tried to reach his email, something happened with the computer where he could not open his emails either. So finally he had to borrow a friend's phone so he could get the call from the Marlins in the 7th round. His original plan was to attend Northeast Mississippi Community College, but instead with the high draft pick, and rightfully so, takes the money and runs as Austin Darby strikes out swinging. Second straight strikeout for Josh Hodges. So he's working himself out of this jam. That's also his third of the game. Brings up the 9-hole hitter and the rookie Connor Takel. Takel is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to first baseman on the 3 unassisted in the third. So far this series, Connor Takel is hitless, going 0 for 7. In the last 10, he's batting .414. First pitch, outside, 1-0. Takel has yet to pick up a professional hit against a left-handed pitcher, but against righties, he's batting .444, and his runners in scoring position .333. Granted, those numbers are only in 14 at-bats. First pitch, next pitch actually, is outside, 2-0. So far this season, Takel is batting .285 with 1 RBI. Along with 4 runs scored. The 2-0. Paints the inside corner, counts now 2-1. Outfield and infield playing straight up. Massey shallow in center. Of course, when you have a center fielder like Tyler Massey that can cover as much ground as he does, can really stick him anywhere, and he's still going to go get it. Takel fouls it off. Counts now even at 2. I just read if the Salt Dogs pick up 12 to 15 hits, anybody with a ticket gets a free 12 wings at a Pizza Hut following the game. They pick up those 12 and 15 hits and the air goes dead for a while. You know I'm out in the crowd looking for a spare ticket. The count even at 2 with 2 down. T-Bone's leading 4-1. Takel fouls it off with 2 down. Coming up in the 6th inning, which is still a good minute away, be hitting you with my new segment, This Day in Baseball History. And boy, oh boy, do I have some good ones. The 2-2. Looks like it paints the corners, but just slightly outside, I suppose. The count's now full. On deck for Lincoln is the leadoff hitter, Robbie Coosdale. Larger crowd here in Lincoln than the previous 2 days. Last night's attendance was a respectable 2479. Today we're looking at maybe close to 4,000 as Hodges steps off with the full count. Previous 2 days, you've noticed some empty rows. Today there's still a few empty rows, but for the most part, there's some full sections. A fairly loud crowd here at Haymarket Park as well. The payoff pitch. Runners go. Takel sends it out to left field. Gillies charging. They're going to send him. Gillies has a cannon. It's two-hopper to the plate. And that scores the runner as Lincoln puts runners on first and second to cut the lead in half. T-Bone still lead 4-2. As Connor Takel picks up his, I believe that would be his first career RBI. Let me get you confirmation on that. No, I'm way off. That's actually his 7th career RBI. Scoring Tyler Earps all the way from second. That puts John Smith on second and Connor Takel on first with the RBI single. That brings up the former T-Bone, Robbie Coosdale, who can stick it to his former team here with 1 swing. Runners on first and second and 2 down, righty versus righty. Brian Erie sets up inside. First pitch is way inside. Coosdale backed up. 1-0 count. Robbie Coosdale, this is being his second stint away from John Mazzarelli in the professional ranks. The 1-0 is low. Counts now 2-0. And so with that being said, John Mazzarelli is going to know every little bit of tendency that Robbie Coosdale has. He knows everything that he's bringing to the plate. And the official scouting report is that Robbie Coosdale's biggest strength, patience at the plate. The 2-0 is called strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Biggest weakness would have to be that if you get ahead early against him, he will chase it out of the zone. Coosdale ahead. Counts 2-1 with runners on first and second and 2 down. T-Bone's leading 4-2. The 2-1 is low and outside. 3-1 now to Coosdale. And this is where we'll see that patience come in handy. Not for the T-Bones, obviously, but you know. For Lincoln. 3-1. Coosdale sends that to deep left field. Gillies retreating. It's off the wall. Smith jogging into home. Runners go to third. Coosdale slides into second. And now the T-Bones lead only by 1, 4-3 after that RBI from Robbie Coosdale. Smith scores from second. He thought it was out of the park by jogging home. That puts runners on second and third as they give Robbie Coosdale the RBI double. And Bill Stelby will come out and talk to his pitcher. We'll take a break with this quick message from our sponsors here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones lead is cut to 4. It's cut to 1. They lead 4-3. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. They're not done yet with the Luis Allen coming to the plate, and runners on second and third. Allen is 1 for 1 today. Sacrifice on the first and single in the third. Righty versus righty. First pitch is blocked by Erie in the dirt. Counts now 1-0. Getting loose in the T-Bones bullpen is Brett Zowacki. Low to Allen, counts now 2-0. Low again, 3-0. This crowd looming, knowing what's coming up big. The 3-0 is inside, and Allen walks on 4 pitches. And that'll load the bases for Brandon Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs steps in 1 for 2 today. He flew out to Wiley in the first and knocked in an RBI single in the third. First pitch is a called strike in there to Jacobs. Jacobs comes up swinging and misses. The 0-2 with the bases loaded. 2 down. T-Bones leading 4-3 here in the bottom of the fourth. And Jacobs goes down swinging on 3 pitches as Josh Hodges works out of trouble. But not before he surrenders 2 runs on 3 hits. No T-Bones errors. All 3 outs are strikeouts by Hodges. T-Bones still lead 4-3 through 4 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as Tyler Massey leads things off here in the fifth. Massey steps in, 1 for 1 today. He takes the first pitch off the end of the bat, sends it down the left field line and foul. No balls, 1 strike. Wiley doubled in the first but was stranded at third. He walked in the second but was stranded at first. I make that second, I should say. Comes on now to T-Bones leading with 1 run, 4-3 with no one out here in the top of the fifth. Righty versus lefty, the 0-1. Is inside, but called strike. Massey doesn't like it. No balls, 2 strikes. Massey settles back in behind 0-2. Here it comes from Larkins. It's high at the letters. Counts now 1-2. Outside to Massey as he works back in the count. The count now even at 2. Massey sends that into shallow right. That's in the gap. He's digging for 2. He's going for it. Coosdale hesitates, and Tyler Massey reaches on a leadoff double. The throw from Coosdale was high to the second baseman as it went over his head, but Tyler Massey would have advanced anyways. Jake Blackwood steps in now with the runner in scoring position. He's yet to have an official at bat. Sacrifice flies, picking up 2 RBIs to center field in the first and the second, or what has happened since he's been up, picking up his 46th RBIs of the season. First pitch to Blackwood is at the letters, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody holding Massey with the 0-1. Blackwood sends it up the middle. The chopper. Moreira fields it. Massey to third. Blackwood tagged out by Leverett with a wild throw from Moreira for the first out. Blackwood does his job advancing Massey to third. That brings up Anthony Gallus, who's 0 for 2 today. Gallus reached on an error by the third baseman in the first, but was stranded at first. And with a big opportunity in the second with the bases loaded and 2 down, he flew out to shallow right field. So he's 0 for 2 today. Infield playing with Massey on third. T-Bones leading 4-3 here in the top of the fifth. First pitch is sweet chin music to Anthony Gallus. He gets out of the way. 1-0. 1-0. Gallus sends that to center field. That might drop. It does. That'll score Massey easily. Gallus digging for 2. He's still digging for it as Coosdale had trouble picking up the ball, and Anthony Gallus slides in with the RBI triple. His first extra base hit of this road trip. Driving in his first run as well as extending the T-Bones lead to 5-3. If they rule that any different other than a triple, you better believe I'll be on it. And they do give them the triple. That is Gallus's first triple of the season, his 22nd RBI. Now stepping in is Nate Tinbrink. Infield still in with Gallus just taking Massey's spot at third. First pitch to Tinbrink is inside, 1-0. So far today, Tinbrink is 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the third and a flyout to right in the first. Has a chance to come up big for Kansas City. The 1-0, righty versus lefty. Inside, Tinbrink gets his hands out of the way in time, 2-0. Nate Tinbrink is 4 for 26 on the season, batting .153, as he's struggling with injuries this season, starting the season on the disabled list, and he came off for the road trip to Laredo. Played well there, found his way back on the disabled list, as that's his called strike at the letters. He doesn't like it. Counts down 2-1, and now he finds his way back, this being his first series, and he's got 2 for 8 in it. Coming into today, now he's 2 for 10. Here comes the 2-1. Tinbrink swings and misses. Now the count's even at 2 with 1 out. Runner on third. Kansas City leading 5-3. Low to Tinbrink, and now the count is full. On deck for Kansas City is number 11, Vladimir Frias. You would think the infield would back up to play in double play depth with 1 out, but they stay in. And Tinbrink goes down swinging for the second out. It's his second strikeout of the game and the second strikeout for Larkins. Vladimir Frias comes on now. Frias is 0 for 2 today. He did reach on an error by Diner Morera in the second and came around to score. First pitch to Frias is inside, 1-0. Oh, 1-0, righty versus lefty for the switch hitting Frias is high, 2-0. Frias sends it over the third baseman, Takel's head. That'll score Massey. Frias digging for 2. The throw in from left is late, and Vladimir Frias is in there standing, extending the T-Bones run, multiplying it by 2 as the T-Bones lead 6-3. With some savvy 2-out hitting by Vladimir Frias. That also extends his hitting streak. to 8 games. That brings up Brian Erie, who's 0 for 2 today. Comes on now with Frias on second and 2 down. First pitch is in the dirt. 1-0. Righty versus righty. Infield playing back, outfield playing shallow. 1-0 is outside. 2-0 now. Matt Larkins. His pitch count is quite high, through 4 2/3. So he's sitting at 81 pitches. We do have action in the Lincoln bullpen. It is a lefty. The 2-0. Erie chops fouled on third baseline, 2-1. They're going to go lefty because the first 3 hitters for Kansas City are all lefties, Gillies, Wiley, and Massey. Tinbrink is also in there as a lefty. Frias is a switch hitter. And then Dalton Wink batting in the 9 hole is also a lefty. They're expecting Larkins to get out at this inning right here. And they'll bring in whoever's up in the bullpen to face left-handed Wheat, who's due up first next inning if Erie does get out here. As I expect this to be the final at-bat for Larkins regardless. Next pitch is a fastball, low but called strike. Counts now even at 2. Brian Erie doesn't like it, and I understand why. Erie sends it out to shallow right. Darby charging, but brings it in for the third out. But not before Kansas City gets 2 back, scoring Massey and Gallus. Thanks to an RBI triple by Anthony Gallus, an RBI double by Vladimir Frias. Kansas City leads 6-3 through 4.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore as the T-Bones lead 6-3 thanks to a 2-run inning in the top of the 5th as they extend their lead, answering the Lincoln bottom of the 4th, and they scored 2. And now we see Rene Leverett due up for Lincoln. Leverett batting on the 4 hole is 0 for 2 today with 2 flyouts to Tyson Gillies in left. First pitch, righty versus righty, is low but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Leverett pops that in the air, but foul and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Lincoln has only gotten 4 home runs out of the 4-hole position. 10 of those coming out of the first base position now. Leverett is playing first today as that's inside 1-2. Leverett mostly bats out of the 3-hole, where the 3-hole has the most home runs by batting order with 10. The 1-2 is on the outside corner home plate umpire. Jordan Sandberg wanted to ring him up, but he doesn't, and the count's even at 2. Rene Leverett is currently 4th in the American Association on base percentage, getting on at a clip of 429. Here comes the 2-2. Righty versus righty. Erie set up outside. Gets it way outside and in the dirt. Counts now full. On deck for Lincoln is number 22, Tyler Earps. Crowd staying in their seats for the most part for this game. It was highly contested American Association Central game. Leverett gets under it and sends it to right field. It's in foul territory. Staying in play. Blackwood looking for it. It just goes foul onto the tarp. We'll do it again and stay full. Kansas City leading 6-3 here in the bottom of the 5th with no one out. The leadoff hitter up to bat for the inning, Rene Leverett. Kansas City has 7 hits today. Lincoln has 6. Lincoln surrendered 2 errors while Kansas City has 1. Infield and outfield playing straight up against the Pablo Sandoval lookalike, Rene Leverett. The payoff pitch is low in the zone, and Leverett walks. That's the 4th walk given up by Hodges in this game. Leverett was the only Salt Dog to not come to the plate in the 4th. That brings up Tyler Earps, who is 1 for 2 today. He struck out swinging in the 2nd, and then he singled and came around to score to lead things off in the 4th. First pitch to Earps is due. Righty versus lefty. Hodges being the righty. Is high. Brings Erie out of his stance. Counts now 1-0. Earps is batting. That can't be right. Point streak says 500 during his time with Lincoln. That's way off. Earps has been struggling with the bat. He swings and misses at the breaking ball. Counts now even at 1. Tyler Earps is batting .264 with Lincoln before this, and .230 on the season. Point streak, you are confusing. It's high to Erie, 2-1. Josh Hodges probably had his best outing of the season during his time with Joplin and Kansas City during his last time out on the 16th. The 2-1 is fouled back, 2-2. He went 7 innings against his former team, the Joplin Blasters, at Joe Becker Stadium. He picked up the win, giving up 1 run, 4 hits, walking 1 and striking out 5, in a game the T-Bones would dismantle the Blasters, or as I like to say, blast the Blasters, knowing that my boss, Matt Folks, just is shaking his head because I just cliched you to death. And again, they would win 11-1. Jake Blackwood even picked up a grand slam. That 2-2 is high. Counts now full. Kansas City has gone 4 for 5 as we conclude this 10-game road trip. So they look to go even for this road trip. They split 2 out of 4 with Laredo. And then they dropped 2 out of 3 to Joplin. They won the first game of this series and dropped the second as Earps goes opposite field, but foul and out of play. The count remains full. On deck for Lincoln is number 19, John Smith. I read something before the game began. Said that KISS is coming to Lincoln, Nebraska to play at Pinnacle Bank Arena, which I can see from clear as day right here in right field as it's a good 100 yards from the ballpark. I wouldn't mind if Gene Simmons found his way up here. The payoff pitch is popped in the air by Earps. Tyler Massey waving everybody off. The ball's a mile in the air as Massey pitches a tent, starts a fire, and gets cozy as the ball comes down for the first out. And now John Smith steps in for the Salt Dogs. Smith is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to center field in the second, and then he was walked in the fourth and came around to score. Brian Erie goes out to check on Hodges and returns. Blackwood holding Leverett on first. Leverett does lead the Salt Dogs in stolen bases. You wouldn't know it by looking at him. First pitch, paints the high outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Leverett is 6'3", 280, and you see every bit of the 280. He's stolen 8 bases, actually make that 5 bases this season. Next pitch is a heater in the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Brett Zwacky was getting loose in the T-Bones bullpen, but Josh Hodges has looked good. As Smith pops that up and out of play down the third baseline into the stands. Count still, no balls, 2 strikes. Hodges sitting at 92 pitches through 4 1/3. The 0-2 with the runner on first, 1 out. T-Bones leading 6-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Infield playing at double play depth, outfield straight up. The 0-2 is low, counts now 1-2. Righty versus lefty with John Smith up. Smith came in after he was initially going to get the day off yesterday, but he was forced to come in when Brandon Jacobs was hit in the jaw by Jordan Cooper. Jacobs went and ran the bases, but couldn't play anymore. They put John Smith in his place and left. High now to Smith. The count's even at 2. As Hodges just needs to put him away. John Smith likely to pull. There is a big hole between the second baseman and first baseman. Low in the zone, looked like it hit the outside corner. Does not apparently, according to Jordan Sandberg, who has the final say. The count's now full. On deck for Lincoln is number 7, Diner Marrera. The 1-out payoff pitch coming up. Here it is. Fastball low and inside. And that walks Smith, putting runners on first and second with 1 down. 2 walks in this inning by Hodges gives him 5. That brings up Diner Marrera, who's 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to shortstop in the second and struck out swinging in the 4th. Still no action in the T-Bones bullpen. Righty versus righty, first pitch. Marrera sends the shot to left field. Gillies covers the gap. Strong throw home, can get the runner Leverett. Blackwood cuts it off, and Leverett slides in to cut the T-Bones lead to 6-4. As Diner Marrera picks up the RBI single with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Lincoln getting a lot of production on the bottom half of their lineup. Connor Takel hit an RBI last inning for the Salt Dogs, and now the 7-hole hitter, Diner Marrera, picks up the RBI single of his own, putting runners on first and second with one down. T-Bone still leads 6-4. First two games of this series were low scoring. The T-Bones won the first game 4-3, then lost last night 3-2. Brings up Austin Darby, who is 0 for 2 today with a fly out to right field and a strikeout swinging. First pitch. Darby chops back to the pitcher's mound. Hodges covers and fires it to Blackwood for the second out. Both runners do advance to second and third. That brings up Connor Takel, who is 1 for 2 today. Grounded out in the third. Picked up an RBI single in the fourth. He comes on now with runners on second and third, 2 down here in the bottom of the fifth. So the T-Bones lead 6-4. 7 hits apiece for each team. Lincoln committing 2 errors, Kansas City 1. Past 2 games, Kansas City has committed 2 errors. Righty versus lefty. Sun setting, first pitch to Takel. Takel's bat shatters. Tyler Massey comes in and brings it in. Kansas City still clinging to a 6-4 lead. Lincoln scoring 1 in this inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th and see the 9, 1, and 2 hitters do it for the T-Bones. It'll be Wheat, Gillies, and Whiteley here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We have a new pitcher into the game for the Salt Dogs, and it's like I thought he'd be on to face the lefty Dalton Wheat. That shuts the door on Matt Larkin's day. He went 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, 6 runs. Only 4 of them are earned while walking 2 and striking out 2. As the T-Bones maintain their lead, he's on the hook for the loss. First pitch from Ryan Davis is low, 1-0. This is the second action that Davis has seen, the rookie out of Lemoyne College. Second action of this series, 8th action of this season for him. It's outside, 2-0. On the opening day of this series, a game that T-Bones would win 4-3, Davis came in and pitched a 1 1/3, giving up 1 hit and striking out 3 of the 5 batters he faced. So far this season, he has an ERA of 1.42 in 7 appearances and 6 1/3. He struck out 7 while walking 4. It's outside by the catcher again, Allen, for the second straight time. Counts now 3-0. Davis being a lefty versus lefty. It's low, and Dalton Wheat walks on the first 4 pitches from Ryan Davis, putting the speedster on and opening the door for the top of the lineup, Tyson Gillies. Gillies is 0 for 2 today, but he walked in the second, and in the first and the fourth, he grounded out to second. He comes on now as a runner on first. No one out. Here in the top of the 6th, T-Bones leading 6-4. First pitch, lefty versus lefty. Is low in the zone, but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Bringing in Ryan Davis is probably the smartest move that Bobby Brown has made in this series. Not to say that he hasn't been making smart moves, but the first 3 hitters in the T-Bones lineup, and I guess you could say, and the 9-hole hitter, so the first 4, the only 4, or first 4, or whatever, that he's faced, counts now full, are lefties. Gillies, Wiley, Massey, and Wheat are all left-handed hitters stuck in the lineup by John Mazzarelli. Count is not full. It's 0-2 to Gillies. It's high, above the letters, 1-2 now to Gillies. Tyson Gillies is batting .288 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs, picking up 13 hits in his 45 at-bats this season. Coming over to the T-Bones from the Atlantic League at Sugar Land. He goes down swinging for the first out. Gillies is clinging to an 8-game hitting streak. That is in jeopardy as he's 0 for 3 now. And his 4 plate appearances. That brings up Brett Wiley. In the first game of this series, Wiley went 4 for 5, falling a triple shy of the cycle. He was hitless yesterday, going 0 for 4, and so far today, he's 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. He singled and scored in the first. First pitch is outside, but called strike. 1-0. If you heard the inflection of my voice, it's because that ball was way outside. Singled and scored in the first, and an RBI double in the second, then flew out to right in the fourth as that heater is blown by him. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first, 1 out. Kansas City leading 6-4 here in the top of the 6th. We'll be back in the bottom of the 6th with a This Day in Baseball History. That's outside 1-2. And I do have some good ones for you on this July 21st. The 1-2. Wiley sends it softly up the middle for the 4-6. Wide throw, 3 double play. Kansas City still leads 6-4 through 5.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones broadcast. We have a new pitcher in the game, and it looks like Brett Zawacki. That ends the day for Josh Hodges as both starting pitchers have gotten the hook. Hodges went 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs, only 3 were earned. He walked 5 and struck out 4 of the 27 batters he faced. Zawacki will face the top of the order. Robbie Coosdale due up. First pitch to Coosdale is low, 1-0. Coosdale is 2 for 2 today. He walked in the first, singled in the third, and came around to score. Then knocked in an RBI double in the fourth. So 1-0 is outside, called strike. 1-1. So far this season, Zawacki is 0 for 3 with an 8.07 ERA in 24 appearances, which comes up to 32 and a third. He struck out 33 while walking 18. The 1-1 is outside, the slider, 2-1. Zawacki has made 3 appearances during this road trip. In 4 innings pitched, he's given up 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Zawacki had trouble with the mound as that's low, 3-1. Appears his cleat got stuck as that was in there at 66 miles an hour. He had to have had some sort of footing problem coming off the mound. The 3-1 righty versus righty is inside, and Coosdale walks to lead off the 6th. Kansas City still leading 6-4. Zawacki was drafted in the 12th round of the 2007 draft by the St. Louis Cardinals out of LaSalle Peru Township High School in his hometown of LaSalle, Illinois. Last season, Zawacki played in the Frontier League, which was his 4th season, actually 2nd season in the Frontier League. He played with 3 different teams in the Frontier League in 2014. But last year with Gateway, he went 4-1 with an ERA of 1.99 in 18 appearances. Picked up 5 saves as he checks on Coosdale. Coosdale diving back safely on the close play. And in 22 2/3 innings pitched, he struck out 27 while walking 6. His last year in affiliated ball came in 2012 in the Miami Marlins organization. He made 3 appearances with them, did not give up any runs, and struck out 4 while walking 1. Inside to Luis Allen, 2-0. Allen is 1 for 2 today. He walked in the second, sacrificed in the first, and singled in the third. Make that 1-0 to Allen. Low in the count, called strike. Count's now even at 1. We start this day in baseball history. In 2008, Diamondbacks left-hander Randy Johnson becomes the first major leaguer to collect 2,000 strikeouts for 2 different teams. The Arizona Southpaw, who fanned 2,162 batters, pitching for the Mariners from 1989 to 1988, with Cubs third baseman Aramis Ramirez to earn the distinction. Zawacki checks on Coosdale. Coosdale back safely with 1-1. Randy Johnson, a role model for many tall left-handed pitchers. Zwacky checks on Coosdale again. He was fantastic in his time with the Mariners and the Diamondbacks. Obviously, Coosdale appears to be hurt. He walks it off and steps back on the bag. Randy Johnson also has the famous distinction of hitting a bird with a pitch. During his time with the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, a bird flew in it looked like it was going dugout to dugout, and Randy Johnson unleashed his nasty fastball, which could hit 100 miles an hour. Is a big nasty. The 1-1 from Zwacky is fouled back, 1-2. And then if you watched on Sports Science, which is a popular show on ESPN, they tried to recreate that. I believe they tried 100 times, and they could not do it. Just shows you the kind of power and control that Randy Johnson had. For a baseball blunder, we go back to 2004. As Zwacky comes set the 1-2, Erie setting up inside. He checks on Coosdale again. Back in 2004, thanks to an unusual play in the outfield, David Newhon hits a rare inside the park home run at Fenway. Inexplicably, Red Sox outfielder Manny Ramirez from left field cuts off the relay throw from center fielder Johnny Damon, allowing two Orioles to score as Allen grounds to Tinbrink. It's out of Tinbrink's glove, and that'll go down as a second error for the T-Bones third baseman. Putting runners on first and second, still no one down. And brings up Brandon Jacobs, who's 1 for 3 today with an RBI. Manny Ramirez had plenty of blunders in his career, but plenty of success as well. So he has one of the greatest bats that I've seen in my lifetime. I was born in '95, so that really narrows it down. Manny Ramirez also famous for something that I'm sure he's not truly happy he's famous for, but using the correct wording would be the facilities in the Green Monster in left field at Fenway Park. When he, during I believe it was a pitching change, he ran out and took care of the God's work. The first pitch of Jacobs is on the outer half, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Also in 2004, Mark Burley faces the minimum 27 batters as the White Sox rout the Indians 14-0. He threw just 90 pitches, and the 25-year-old southpaw allowed only 2 hits, with both runners being erased as a result of a double play. The 0-1 is way inside. Counts now even at 1. Mark Burley is one of my favorite pitchers. Of course, being a Royals fan, I couldn't like him when he was with the White Sox. During his time with the Blue Jays, I respected him. But what I really liked about him is that he was probably the fastest working pitcher in the whole league. And I'm sure the broadcasters for the White Sox and the Blue Jays loved that just the same. The 1-1. Jacobs swings and misses on the curveball at 79 miles an hour from Zwacky. We'll go back, clear back to 1946. We have 2 more to go. In 1946, Lou Flick set a professional baseball record when he collected 9 consecutive hits in a single game. The 1-2 is outside, blocked by Erie, 2-2. He grounded out in his final at-bat in the 19-inning opener against Memphis. The Little Rock Travelers outfielder would get 3 more hits off the Chicks pitching staff in the nightcap, finishing the day, not the series, but the day, 12 for 13, and the Southern Association doubleheader. So that's likely a record that will never be broken. The 2-2, Jacobs lunges for it and fouls it off. Count remains even at 2. And the final one in 1947, Frankie Frisch was batted .316 in his career, becomes the first switch hitter inducted into the Hall of Fame. The Fordham Flash is what he is known, is joined by Carl Hubble, Mickey Cochran, and Lefty Grove as the newest members enshrined to Cooperstown. As Zwacky comes up, the runners on first and second, and the 2-2 is outside, out of the glove of Erie, but Erie keeps it in front of him. Counts now full. On deck for Lincoln is number 48, Rene Leverett. Still no outs as Kansas City leads 6-4. Red Zwacky appears to be struggling through this outing. Still no action in the T-Bones bullpen. And, granted, guy's only thrown 15 pitches. The payoff pitch is low and away. Paints the corner. Strike 3 looking. Brandon Jacobs not happy with it. Bobby Brown stays in the Lincoln dugout. He appeared he was about to come out, but that's the big first out for Zowacki. And I say Zowacki was struggling, but only one of the runners on base is one that he put on. He walked Robbie Coosdale to get this whole thing started, but then Luis Allen reached on the error by Nate Tinbrink, his second error of the game. And that brings up the 4-hole hitter, Rene Leverett. Leverett is 0 for 2. He walked last time we saw him in the 5th and came around to score as well. T-Bone still leading 6-4 with 1 out. Runners on the first and second. First pitch to Leverett. Erie sets up outside. Zowacki got it right where he needed to get, but Leverett just gets enough of it to foul it off and pull it foul. No balls, 1 strike. Leverett finally steps back in, taking his time. I'm sure Mark Burley, who I just mentioned, would probably be yelling at him at this point, telling him to get back in, as Mark Burley was famous for throwing the 2.5-hour games all the time. That's outside to Leverett. The count's even at 1. That looked like the same pitch that struck out Brandon Jacobs. It was low and away. It appears to be right at the knees, but called ball this time by Jordan Sandberg. The highest level that Brett Zowacki reached was AA. He did that in 2011 with the St. Louis Cardinals. So that's outside. Counts now 2-1. And for his entire stats in 2011, that's the year that he reached AA, he went 3-2 with a 5.37 ERA, starting 1 game even. Made 38 appearances, picking up 2 saves, and in 58 2/3 innings, struck out 37 while walking 27. As he comes set, righty versus righty, 2-1. Slider that touches the middle of the zone, and that was a beautiful pitch from Zowacki. Counts now even at 2 with 1 out. Infield playing a double play depth. The T-Bones leading 6-4. Here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out. Sun beginning to set here in Lincoln. The T-Bones clinging to their 2-run lead. The pitcher and batter, Zowacki and Leverett, just really, I guess you could say, staring each other down. Finally, the home plate umpire had to call time. So I'm sure he started seeing doubles by staring at 1 point for so long. Each team at 7 hits and 2 errors. T-Bones just leading in the runs category, which is the important one, 6-4. That's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball outside and away. That draws the count full to Leverett. On deck for Lincoln is number 22, Tyler Earps. So we get the payoff pitch with runners on first and second and 1 down. Zowacki comes set. The payoff pitch, runners go. Leverett fouls it back, will remain full. Elsewhere in the American Association, the early game was Fargo at Sioux Falls at Sioux Falls Stadium. Sioux Falls won that game 7-5. At Lewis and Clark Park, they're in the top of the 7th. Sioux City leading Joplin 2-1. At Airhog Stadium, they're in the top of the 7th as well. Wichita leading the Airhogs 6-1. And at U.S. Steel Yards, it's another low-scoring affair. And what's been a low-scoring affair in that entire series, they're in the bottom of the 5th. Laredo clinging to a 2-1 lead over Gary South Shore. Runners go. Coosdale, at least, as Leverett goes down swinging for the second out, putting runners on the corners as Coosdale picks up the stolen base and takes the team lead with his 5th stolen base this season for Lincoln, his 9th of the season. Second strikeout for Brett Zowacki. And John Mazzarelli will come out and talk to his young righty. Be back to these messages from our sponsors on the T-Bones Broadcast Network, and that will do it for Zwacky. We'll be back with a new pitcher here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We have a new pitcher in the game for the T-Bones, and it's the southpaw Evan DeLuca. Brett Zwacky exit, still responsible for the runners on first and third. With two down, we see Tyler Earps. Earps is 1 for 3 with a run scored, singling and scoring in the fourth. He also struck out in the second. Brett Zwacky's day is not done yet, but what we do know is that he's pitched 2/3 of an inning, walking 1 and striking out 2. First pitch to Earps. It's a called strike on the inner half. No balls, 1 strike. Evan DeLuca enters this appearance 2-1 on the season with an ERA of 3. In 25 appearances, he's in 30 innings pitched. He struck out 29 while walking 16. He has seen plenty of action during this road trip. As that hits Earps and loads the bases. Tyler Earps is a guy that you need to pitch inside to, and that one just happened to get away. Puts Earps on first, Allen on second, and Coosdale on third. T-Bone still leading 6-4 with 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 6th, we see John Smith. Smith is 0 for 1 today. He walked in the 4th and the 5th, and he also came around to score in the 4th. Evan DeLuca has pitched 3 innings. during this road trip, giving up 2 runs, only one of them was earned, and 3 hits, walking 2 and striking out 3. First pitch to Smith is outside, 1-0. DeLuca comes set, lefty versus lefty. Erie outside. Fastball outside at 92. Counts now even at 1. Smith checks his swing. Strikes in there anyways, 1-2. The relatively large crowd here in Lincoln has remained in their seats. The 1-2 is outside. Now the count is even at 2. When the T-Bones return home tomorrow to face the Goldeyes, there will be an appearance by the Falcon skydiving teams, and 90s are all that night. It's also Dollar Dog Night, or dollar hot dogs with the purchase of a drink. And then following the game, it will be the Girl Scout Campout Night. The 2-2 is outside, and that draws the count full. With the bases loaded and 2 down, Kansas City still clinging 6-4 on deck. For Lincoln is number 7, Dynam Rivera. On Saturday, there'll be post-game fireworks. On Sunday against Winnipeg as well. Be a post-game kids run the bases and a select player pre-game autographs. The car show, parade, Sizzles Breakfast Club program. As John Smith goes down swinging for the big third out. The bases were loaded, but Lincoln leaves them stranded. And through 6, the T-Bones lead 6-4 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Still out there for Lincoln is Ryan Davis. We'll see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the T-Bones. The heart of the lineup, Massey, Blackwood, and Gallus due up. Kansas City leading 6-4. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. It'll be lefty versus lefty with Davis. First pitch to Massey is low, 1-0. Thought we'd have a new pitcher in the game for Lincoln, as there was a righty that was jogging out of the bullpen. But I think the Bobby Brown noticed that a lefty was due up for Kansas City and left in Ryan Davis. outside 2-0. Tyler Massey is 2 for 2 today with a pair of doubles, hitting one in the first and the fifth. He scored a run as well in the fifth. He was also walked in the second. Fouls that back, 2-1. Tyler Massey finding his bat, swinging a hot stick. Tyler Massey, one of the also ones that I thought was snubbed from the All-Star game. He's putting up great numbers with the 2-1. Finds the lower half of the corner-ish, wherever the strike zone is, apparently. 2-2. Massey came in today batting .280 with 5 home runs and 22 RBIs. One of the best, actually easily the best glove in the American Association for center fielders. And he sits it out to the second best glove for center fielders in the American Association, Robbie Coosdale, who squeezes it for the first out. Had to spread some love to Robbie Coosdale, the former T-Bone, during his time in Kansas City. One of the nicer guys I've ever met. Couldn't have been more of a class act. And all he wants to say is thank you to the fans that supported night in and night out by either logging on to the T-Bones Broadcast Network or attending at Community America Ballpark. We'll see a new pitcher for Lincoln with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. We'll be right back into these messages from our sponsors.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We get set to begin the 7th with the T-Bones leading 6-4. This is Sam King. We have a new pitcher into the game. With 1 out, Steven Shackelford enters. Shackelford is a right-hander. First pitch to Blackwood is low but called strike. No balls, 1 strike. This is Shackelford's first appearance in this series. Last time out, he went 1 innings in a July 17th 5-0 win at Laredo. He gave up 3 hits while striking out 2 of the 6 batters he faced. Next pitch is high. It's now 1-1 to Blackwood. On the season, Shackelford is 2-2 with a 6.9 ERA. In 15 appearances, he's picked up a save, and in 14 1/3, he struck out 15 while walking 7. Shackelford played his college ball at Savannah College of Arts and Design in Savannah, Georgia. The next pitch is inside, 2-1. He was drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the 35th round of the 2010 draft from Savannah College of Arts and Design. Last season, he played in Double-A in the Philadelphia Phillies organization, as that's outside. Blackwood has a pitch to play with, 3-1. During his time at Reading, which is the Double-A affiliate for the Phillies, he went 4-2 with an ERA of 4.45. Picked up 30 saves in 53 appearances. And in 54 2/3 innings, struck out 56 while walking 24, as it appears that he was going to be a closer for the Phillies as they were bringing him up with his 30 saves, which is just a bonkers number. The 3-1 is low, and Blackwood walks to get things going with 1 out here in the 7th. And now I'm intrigued about Mr. Steven Shackelford. He spent time in the Giants and Mariners and Phillies organization. His best season before last season came in 2012, spending time in high A ball and the Mariners organization. Sandwiched between his time with the Giants and the Mariners was a spot with Florence in the Independent League. He only had 2 appearances with them, then immediately signed with the Mariners. First pitch to Anthony Gallus is inside, 1-0. Gallus got things going, reaching on an error in the first, flying out to right in the second, and then guess what? An RBI triple in the 5th, and he also came around to score. The count's now even at 1 to Anthony Gallus, who might be turning things around here. He had been struggling going into today, but an RBI triple would be enough to turn anybody around. So that's on the outer half, called strike, 1-2. During his time with Clinton, which is a single-A ball team in the Seattle Mariners organization, Shackelford went 6-2 with a 1.42 ERA, and in 28 appearances, he picked up 11 saves, which is the second most in his career. And in 43 innings pitched, struck out 42 while walking 16. The 1-2 is a breaking ball that gets past Gallus, and he goes down swinging for the second out. Kansas City still leading 6-4 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And we see Nate Tinbrink step in. Tinbrink is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. And with the wind dying here in Lincoln, the heat begins to hit you. Tinbrink fouls it back. No balls, 1 strike. There is a sticky sort of humidity in the air with no breeze. I see a bunch of people fanning themselves. And I'm feeling the stickiness through my shirt, and not truly sure why I said that, because any girl that's listening just probably went, wow, this guy's gross. You know, you'd be correct if you met me too. The 0-1, righty versus lefty. Tinbrink, being the lefty, has the advantage. Shackelford comes set with 2 down, runner on first. The 0-1 is outside. Counts now even at 1, with Kansas City leading 6-4 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The 1-1 is high, 2-1. Like I was saying about upcoming promotions, I said those previous 3 for Winnipeg. And then Monday through Wednesday, we host Gary. And on Monday, kids eat free to the first 1,000 kids 12 and under. And then on Tuesday, the free T-Bones adult jersey giveaway to the first 1,500 fans. So you get a replica Kansas City T-Bones jersey. As that's on the outer half, called strike, 2-2 now, 2 down. And that Wednesday, it's Warrior Wednesday, which happens every Wednesday at Community America Ballpark, where it's half off choice and select tickets with military ID and post-game catch on the field. Also 50-cent hot dogs all night to celebrate National Hot Dog Week. All this brought to you by Morgan Kincaid, who's the head of promotions for the T-Bones and does a wonderful job filling the seats at Community America Ballpark. Counts now full to Nate Tinbrink. On deck for Kansas City is number 11, Vladimir Frias. You know, it might actually be Morgan Conrad. The payoff pitch, runner going outside, walks Tinbrink. I tried to give her the shout out, and I'm sure she's going to be mad at me if I said the wrong last name. Nonetheless, back to baseball. That's how I get out of hot water. Runners on first and second. as that pitch was just barely outside the tin ring, putting runners on first and second. The fans here at Haymarket Park didn't like it, but I love every second of it as Vladimir Frias comes on now, the switch hitter, batting lefty against the right-handed Shackelford. Is 1 for 3 today. He had an RBI double in the 5th to extend his hitting streak to 8 games. He also came around to score in the 2nd when he reached on an error by the other shortstop. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Shackelford is a 6'2", 205 righty. The pitch is out of three-quarter slide. That's in the hole by a shortstop. Vladimir Frias lining into shallow left. Loads the bases with 2 down with that 2-out single, putting Blackwood on third and Tinbrink on second. Second hit of the game for Vladimir Frias. That gives him 3 multi-hit games during this road trip as Bobby Brown jogs out of the dugout to go talk to his righty from Savannah, Georgia. We'll be right back to these messages from our sponsors on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network as Brian Erie steps in with the bases loaded and 2 down at Kansas City, clinging to a 6-4 lead here in the top of the 7th. He'll go up against the righty Steven Shackelford as Shackelford has the advantage, righty versus righty. First pitch is a fastball at 95, high, 1-0. So far this season, Brian Erie has not had an at-bat with the bases loaded. Well, the 1-0 sent out to right field. Darby retreating. Brings it in for the 3rd out. As Kansas City strands the bases loaded, they had an opportunity to extend their 6-4 lead. They cannot. We're still leading by 2 through 6.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Evan DeLuca still out there for the T-Bones. Rightfully so, as the lefty has earned himself another shot. First batter he'll face is Dainer Morera. Morera is 1 for 3 today, picking up an RBI single. Last time we saw him in the 5th. First pitch is high, 1-0. Infield playing straight up, outfield doing the same. Not many shifts from John Mazzarelli. Sticks to the old guns of baseball. Everybody cover their position. Fastball high, 2-0. When we were in Laredo, we saw Pete Incaviglia, and you think that he would be one of those guys that would just, straight up baseball, just like John Mazzarelli, but no. Every batter, it seemed like there was a different shift on. We got to the point where it's almost just ridiculous. This is a 2-0. Fastball perfectly placed on the inner half. Counts now 2-1. That's just really what shocked me about Pete Incaviglia. Laredo Lemurs skipper picks 7 of his own to the All-Star team. Seems a little shady to me, but not the one doing it. As Morera lines that pass short for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th. His second hit of the game, second hit of the series. That brings up Austin Darby. A former Cornhusker is 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the 4th. Lefty versus lefty from DeLuca. 2 more lefties with Takel, a lefty on deck. First pitch. Darby checks his swing. It's low, 1-0. Home plate umpire just now pointing to the second base umpire, says he does not go. Kansas City just trying to get to the 9th inning with this lead to open the door for Mark Haynes, the lone T-Bones All-Star. DeLuca checks on the runner. DeLuca has a nasty pickoff move. Morera back standing. Count still 1-0 to Austin Darby. Darby loves the fastball away. He gets it and pulls it down the first baseline over the head of a leaping Blackwood. That's still rolling. Runners on second and third now as Dalton Wheat gets it in quickly after he got to it quickly. And that double puts runners on second and third with no one out. Evan DeLuca needing to work out of trouble now. Back-to-back singles. Start to make the water heat up as the pot's about to boil. Brian Erie will come out and talk to the young southpaw. Up in the T-Bones bullpen is number 35, Aaron Baker. That brings up Connor Takel, another lefty with no one out, and 2 runners in scoring position. T-Bone still leading 6-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Tying run on second, go-ahead run at the plate. The most faith in the world in Evan DeLuca, as he's proven to me time and time again that he can work out of these jams. First pitch, breaking ball low, 1-0. Erie framed it. Couldn't have framed it any better, but Jordan Sandberg, been around the block a time or two, knows better than that. So far this season with runners in scoring position, Connor Takel has had 3 at-bats. He's gone 1 for 3, picking up an RBI along the way. The 1-0 is outside, make it 2-0. Erie slide blocks. That could have saved a run. Speed on the base pass for Lincoln, with Darby on second and Morera on third. You'd almost think about walking him here at the 2-0. Takel swings at a ball in the dirt, make that 2-1. If you walk him here, you get an out at any base which would be nice, especially for the strong throw home, because that's exactly where the ball's going to go to save the run. But with this, you really got to be choosy with where you throw the ball. You can get the sure out at first, or you can try it and get the out at home. But the tag's got to be placed. The perfect throw's got to be there. 2-1 is low and away. Can't make that 3-1. As Takel has a pitch to play with. And if DeLuca walks Takel here, that's not the end of the world. Like I said, out at any base, and all runners will be vulnerable. Granted, Takel is the 9-hole hitter with the top of the order due up next, and that's represented by Robbie Coosdale, who's had himself a day. The 3-1 is low, and Takel walks. Like I said, not a bad walk. That just puts an out at any bag, but also loads the bases for Robbie Coosdale. Coosdale is 2 for 2 today. The walks in the first and the sixth, picking up a stolen base in the sixth as well. In the third, he singled and came around to score. In the fourth, he knocked in an RBI double as the go-ahead runner is on first. Tying run on second with the T-Bones leading 6-4 with no one out here in the bottom of the seventh, and the base is loaded. Infield playing a double play depth as John Mazzarelli will come out and talk to the southpaw in a huge situation. He stares down Robbie Coosdale. Coosdale just kind of laughing it off. And the day will be done for Evan DeLuca. We'll see who comes out of this bullpen, and we'll give you the full details when we return here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. It'll be Aaron Baker with no one out here in the bottom of the seventh. T-Bones leading 6-4. And we see the top of the order, Robbie Coosdale, righty versus righty. Coosdale's had himself a day against his former team with 2 walks, a single and a run scored in the third, and an RBI double in the fourth. He's 2 for 2. First pitch. Called strike, no balls, 1 strike. Robbie Coosdale is a guy that you have to get ahead of early, because once you get ahead of him, he will chase something out of the zone. But if you let him get ahead, his biggest strength as a hitter, patience. Bases loaded, 0-1. Brian Erie setting up outside. It's in the dirt, blocked by Erie, keeps it in front of him. Counts now even at 1. Erie tried to bait Marrera into running from third by just simply walking to the ball, acting like he's not paying attention. But in reality, Brian Erie knows exactly where that runner on third is. He's a catcher that's been around in the league a time or two. He knows the tricks. He was a 3-year member of the Kansas City T-Bones before spending the first half of this season in the Can-Am League with Ottawa. The 1-1. Coosdale pops it straight back. Counts now 1-2. And some lucky fan has now come away with the ball that she absolutely panicked when it came close to her on the slow roll. That's the other entertaining part about baseball is watching what the fans do, and the foul ball goes into the stands. 1-2 as Coosdale and Baker come set in their duel. Erie setting up outside. Fastball likely coming, it is. And it's outside, blocked by Erie. Counts even at 2. Kansas City leading 6-4 with no one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Kansas City has managed 8 hits, Lincoln 9. Each team with 2 errors. Both of the errors for Kansas City coming in from Nate Tinbrink. The 2-2, Baker comes set. Erie outside again. Breaking ball inside. Called ball. It was just barely inside. I will have to agree with Jordan Sandberg. Aaron Baker doesn't like it, but that ball was just a hair inside. And the count is now full. On deck for Lincoln is number 18, Luis Allen. Tying run on second. Marrera on third. Darby on second and Takel on first. The payoff pitch. Looks like it's in the zone. Coosdale checks his swing. Home first base umpire Brian Child says he doesn't go, and that walks in a run. T-Bones leading 6-5. Robbie Coosdale picking up the RBI on the walk. That brings up dangerous Luis Allen. So far today, Allen is 1 for 2. He also reached on an error in the 6th by Tinbrink. Last night, Allen was responsible for all of Lincoln's runs, driving in all 3, scoring 1 on his own on a solo home run. He went 3 for 4 with that run scored and 3 RBIs. Righty versus righty, bases loaded. T-Bones leading 6-5 with no one out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch. Allen sends out to deep left field. Tyson Gillers retreating on the warning track. He brings it in at the wall, but it bobbles out of his glove. 1 run scores, 2 runs score on Luis Allen's 2-run double to retake the lead. Lincoln now leads 7-6. That puts Robbie Coosdale on third. Luis Allen on second. All 3 runs have gone against Evan DeLuca. So the day is officially done for Evan DeLuca. Came in and pitched a third of an inning, giving up 2 hits, 3 runs all earned, while walking 1 and striking out 1 in the 5 batters he faced. That brings up Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs is 1 for 4 today. First pitch is a fastball on the bottom half of the zone at 94 miles an hour. No balls, 1 strike. So far this season, Aaron Baker is 2-3 with a 4.22 ERA. In his 26 appearances, he's picked up 2 saves and 27 2/3, struck out 20 while walking 9. Field 1, righty versus righty. Still no one out. Is on the inner half, called strike, no balls, 2 strikes. Baker has pitched 3 innings in this road trip. His 4 appearances, he's given up 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and striking out 1. He's 1 for 2 on this road trip, losing the first game at Laredo, a game the T-Bones would lose 2-1 on the walk-off. Picked up the win the next night in a game the T-Bones won 5-4. And Jacobs is struck out looking. He really doesn't like it. He's got some words for home plate umpire Jordan Sandberg. That's the first out of the inning. Sandberg watching Jacobs back to the dugout. And Jacobs will return to the dugout. That's a big first out for the T-Bones. That brings up the 4-hole hitter Rene Leverett with 1 out. Runners on second and third. It looks like they're going to put him on intentionally. You got to be careful on these. So one of these gets away, a run scores. Airy brings it in, 1-0. Crowd booing. But from a strategic standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. So Rene Leverett's one of the hottest hitters in the American Association. He's in the 4-hole for Lincoln, one of their top hitters, as he's top 3 on the team in batting average. 2-0 as that one's successful. 3-0. On deck for Lincoln is number 22, Tyler Earps. Walking him also puts the double play in order with 1 out, and the T-Bones trailing now 7-6. 3 runs across so far here in the bottom of the 7th. And ball 4 as Rene Leverett walks to load the bases with 1 down. That brings up Tyler Earps. Earps is 1 for 3 today with the run scored. He also has a strikeout to his name. That 1 hit and run scored came in the 4th inning, which was a 2-run inning for the Salt Dogs. They've scored 3 so far as the T-Bones now trail 7-6. It'll be righty versus lefty. Tyler Earps being a switch hitter. Baker comes set with the bases loaded. First pitch is outside on the pitch that rang out Brandon Jacobs. Called ball this time around, 1-0. Last season, Aaron Baker had a very successful year for the T-Bones. Next pitch is high and away, 2-0. Aaron Baker is a native of Belton, Missouri, which is just south of Kansas City. Played his college ball at the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg, Missouri. Did have a stint in the affiliated ball in 2014 with the Philadelphia Phillies, playing in rookie ball, single A, and high A, all in 2014. High and away to Earps. Baker is now behind 3-0. Baker played his first season professional ball in the Frontier League with Gateway, where he went 1-4 as a rookie with a 7.04 ERA, starting 4 games along the way, and striking out 19 while walking 7. Crowd getting loud. With the bases loaded, 3-0 count, 1 out. Fastball right down the middle, 3-1 as Baker works his way back in. Kansas City now trailing 7-6, thanks to a 3-run inning here in the bottom of the 7th for Lincoln. Last season, Aaron Baker went 4-5 with an ERA of 2.95. In his 42 appearances, he picked up 4 saves and 58 innings pitched. He also struck out 46 while walking 17. Baker gets Earps to foul it back, and now the count is full with 1 down. Aaron Baker really working himself back into this count. On deck for Lincoln is number 19, John Smith. The payoff pitch with the bases loaded and 1 down is due up. Here it comes. Earps fouls it back and loses the bat, but flings it into the screen. He's asking for more pine tar. First off, the ball, when it was fouled back in the screen, almost hit John Smith in the on-deck circle. And the bat that got flung out of Tyler Earps' hand would have hit whoever is in on-deck circle for the T-Bones. Not that anybody is, with it being the bottom half of the inning. I mean, duh. But that's just where it went for the visual representation. Nightfall has struck here in the capital city of Nebraska, as the beautiful downtown skyline here in Lincoln is lit up. Memorial Stadium in dead center, where Nebraska plays football, has a few lights on it, and it looks like a dooming place for anybody that enters in Big Ten country, formerly Big 12 country, but don't get me started on how salty I am. Back to baseball. Full count, bases loaded, one out. Here it comes. Fastball just low. Walks Tyler Earps, and I'm not entirely sure where that ball missed, as it was over the heart of the plate. Must have just been a tad low, or must have just been a, put it bluntly, a bad call. But that walks another run home, extending the Lincoln lead to 8-6. That brings home Robbie Coosdale and just rotates the bases. As John Smith comes on with the bases loaded and one down. First pitch to Smith. Smith fouls it back. No balls, one strike. Righty versus lefty. The lefty being John Smith has the advantage. So far today, Smith is 0 for 2 with a run scored, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He came around to score in the fourth. It's 4-run inning for Lincoln. It's getting out of control. Kansas City led to come into this inning, 6-4. Now they trail 8-4. So that's sent out to left center. Massey on his horse. That's going to drop at the wall. That's going to clear the bases. John Smith still at second, will be held up there. And that'll clear them all as Kansas City now trails 11-6. And this has gotten way out of control here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. No activity in the T-Bones bullpen. We've officially hit double digits and batted around. John Smith picking up 3 RBIs on 1 swing, scoring Allen, Leverett, and Earps. And now we have officially batted around as we see Dainan Morera, who started the inning with a single and also came around to score. For the second time, this time with the runner on second and 1 down. T-Bones trailing 11-6. Make that a 7-run inning for Lincoln. First pitch is low, 1-0. The 1-0 is outside, make that 2-0, as Lincoln has come back in this ball game. Coming into the inning, the T-Bones led 6-4, and thanks to 7 unanswered runs by Lincoln here in the bottom of the 7th off Evan DeLuca and Aaron Baker, Lincoln now leads 11-6. And John Mazzarelli is down in the T-Bones dugout, just left scratching his head. It appeared the T-Bones had this game put away with just some strong pitching. Granted, the game is not over yet. T-Bones only trail by 5. Score 3 in one, score 2 in the other, maybe just 5 in all, maybe 1 and then 4. Endless possibilities. The 2-0, righty versus righty with 1 down. Erie sets up outside. Morera chops it to short. He tries to beat it up, high throw. Blackwood gets down on the bag in time for the second out. You did hear that right. After batting around, Dainan Morera picks up his second at-bat of the inning. We're only at 2 outs. Austin Darby steps in now. Darby singled earlier in this inning and came around to score, as only 2 Salt Dogs have not scored. Brandon Jacobs struck out looking, and John Smith, who's currently on second, just cleared the bases with a 3-run double. First pitch to Darby. A fastball that walked up, Earps, I should say. Called a strike this time around. No balls, one strike. Crowd has disappeared slightly. The 0-1 loses the bat into the T-Bones dugout. Would have hit John Mazzarelli, but the netting blocked it. And he, with the great reflexes, gets down in time anyways. So that's the second bat that's been lost by Lincoln in this inning. Either A, they need to find a new pine tar provider. B, work on their grip strength. C, get some new batting gloves. Or D, be better and hold on to the bat. Counts now 0-2 to the rookie Darby. Thankfully, the netting in the dugout blocking the bat from hitting John Mazzarelli. That would have just added injury to insult after this 7-run inning. Thankfully not. The 0-2, it's high, bringing Erie out of his stance. 1-2 now from Baker. Aaron Baker sitting at 26, make that actually 30 pitches, 15 strikes and 15 balls, and only 2/3 of an innings pitched. Evan DeLuca started the inning and gave up 3 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning pitched, allowing 2 hits while walking 1, striking 1 out. Aaron Baker's stat line so far looks like this: 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. 2 walks and a strikeout of the 7 batters he faced. The 1-2. Darby pops up and just out of play. 1-2. Crowd alive here in Lincoln. A select few have disappeared. Still a good 3,000 in the crowd. Baker comes set, righty versus lefty. Baker being the righty. 1-2 yet again. Is low. And now the count is even at 2. Is that the pitch? That was called a strike earlier this at bat. That's the pitch that walked to Tyler Earps. As Jordan Sandberg doesn't know if he likes him high, low or if he hates him low. Right there, I guess he hated it. 2-2. T-Bones trailing 11-6. Darby fouls that back into the netting. It stays alive, 2-2. Aaron Baker now at 32 pitches, 6 pitches during this at-bat. Not much more can be said about a 7-run inning. A 2-2 comes set yet again. Baker steps, fires, and delivers. It's low and blocked by Erie. Now the count is full. On deck for Lincoln, it's number 27, Connor Takel. So this game has gotten away from the T-Bones quickly. Coming into today, the all-time series with the Salt Dogs was tied at 49 apiece. Each team looking to pick up 50th win. Darby sends that out to left field. Gillies retreating, but finds it and brings it in for the 3rd out. But not before Lincoln scores 7 runs on 4 hits. Make that 1, 2, 3, and 4 walks. T-Bones trail 11-6 through 7 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. On to pitch for Lincoln is the lethal Brad Orsi. He'll face the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the T-Bones. Wheat, Gillies, and Wiley all due up. Brad Orsi took a loss in the series opener in a game that T-Bones would win 4-3, going 1 inning, giving up a hit and a run, and that hit was a solo home run by Brett Wiley. First pitch to Dalton Wheat is high, 1-0. This season, Orsi is 2-2 with an ERA of 2.33, and in 24 appearances, he's picked up 3 saves, and in 27 innings pitched, struck out 26 while walking 7. It's a called strike in there to Wheat. Counts now even at 1. Last season, he played for Wichita. Made 13 appearances and in 14 and a third, struck out 15 and walked 8 while going 0 for 2 with the 3.14 ERA. Next pitch is inside to Wheat. Wheat's now working 2-1. Kansas City not going to give up. A team takes the form of their manager. I guess that would be the right word. I guess the mindset would be better. As Wheat sends that out to left field, staying in play. But now tails foul into the Lincoln bullpen. Counts 2-2 as Wheat just showed some opposite field power. If that ball would have stayed fair, it would have been gone. Like I was saying about the T-Bones taking the mindset of their manager, if you know John Mazzarelli, you know that he's a resilient guy that will persevere. And that's what his team is needing to do right here. They trail 11-6, giving up 7 runs in the bottom of the 7th, the most runs scored by Lincoln in an inning this season. Got to have faith in the old skipper. The 2-2. Wheat fouls it off to stay alive. Count remains even at 2. Orsi already has a loss in this series. Let's see if we can't give him 2. The 2-2. Way inside, almost hits Wheat. Wheat gets out of the way in time. The count's now full. On deck for Kansas City, number 2, Tyson Gillies. Orsi, just like Mark Haynes, are both natives of Houston, Texas. Orsi played his college ball at Texas Lutheran as Wheat rolls over and grounds a hard ground out to second for the first out. We see Tyson Gillies now. Gillies in jeopardy of losing his 8-game hitting streak as he's 0 for 3 today. Only time he got on base was in the second. He walked, but was ultimately stranded at third. During Orsi's 4 years at Texas Lutheran, as Gillies pops that high in the air about a mile, Robbie Coosdale will be able to take out a mortgage and buy a house before that's squeezed in for the second out. T-Bone's going down quickly here in the top of the 8th. That brings up Brett Wiley. Wiley is 2 for 4 today with a run scored and an RBI. As Tyler Massey, Jake Blackwood, and Vladimir Frias, throw in Anthony Gallus and Dalton Wheat in that, have been the bright spots for the T-Bones. First pitch is low, 1-0. During Orsi's 4 years at Texas Lutheran, he went 32-6 with a 2.86 ERA. Wiley sends that out to left center. That could drop. Coosdale tracking it, but it's brought in by Jacobs for the third and final out, both having to run about a mile. T-Bones go down 1, 2, 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. See the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up for Lincoln. T-Bones trail 11-6 through 7.5 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com. It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. It'll be John Kovalik to likely take us the rest of the way here in the bottom of the 8th. He comes on as the T-Bones trail 11-6 thanks to a 7-run bottom of the 7th inning by the Lincoln Salt Dogs. We'll see Connor Takel come up to the plate now. Takel was a part of that 7th inning, walking and scoring. He is 1 for 3 today with an RBI and a single. First pitch is called strike low. Whoa, no balls, 1 strike. So far this season, John Kovalik, who came over from Gary South Shore, is 1-0 with an ERA of 4.32 in 22 appearances. He comes out to 25 innings, so that's outside, 2-1. He struck out 18 while walking 12. During his time with Kansas City, he's 1-0 with an ERA of 5.68. In 5 appearances, he's pitched 6 1/3, striking out 3 and walking 3. Make that 1-1, actually. So that's a fastball tossed in there, 92 on the inner half. Counts now 1-2. John Kovalik played his college ball at Slippery Rock University of Pennsylvania. During his 2 years there, he went 7-5 with a 2.28 ERA, making a start along the way, picked up 12 saves, and in 71 innings pitched. That's low, even now at 2. He struck out 56 while walking 26, striking out 7 per 9 innings. Kovalik is still young at 24 years old as he gets Connor Tagle down swinging on a 91-mile-an-hour heater that's outside for the first out. That brings the top of the order, the former T-Bone Robbie Coosdale to the plate. Coosdale enters this at bat 2 for 2 today with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and 3 walks. Coosdale was a part of that 7th inning, walking in the 7th and scoring. First pitch, righty versus righty, is high and inside, 1-0. Last season, Kovalik spent it with Gary South Shore, where he went only 10 appearances, did not have a decision, and then had a 2.92 ERA, which is a respectable ERA, as that's low. 3-0 out of Coosdale. And in 12 1/3, struck out 13 while walking 5. Make that 2-0. As I'm actually not sure where I'm at. The 2-0 with 1 out, righty versus righty. Erie set up inside. Gets it right by him, 90-mile-an-hour heater. That gets Coosdale swinging. 2-1. John Kovalik in his short appearance. Only a third of an inning pitch so far. Looking dominating with that fastball. Kovalik spent his rookie season in 2014 in the Frontier League with the Grays. That's inside. Coosdale is the pitch to play with now, 3-1 at 92 miles an hour. He did not have a decision in his 19 appearances. His ERA was 7.71, and in 23 1/3, struck out 20 while walking 17. That's understandable, as the Frontier League is where the batters just have a heyday, and I'm not truly sure why. As that's a fastball low in the zone. Counts now full on deck for Lincoln. Number 18, Luis Allen. John Kovalik throwing straight fastballs this at bat. Would not be surprised if we see another one. He's a fastball changeup type of guy. The payoff pitch. Fastball, 93 miles an hour, gets Coosdale swinging. Second strikeout of the 8th. John Kovalik looking dominating in his appearance thus far. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Kovalik. And that brings up the all-star Luis Allen. Allen is having himself a game as well, as only one Lincoln hitter is hitless. It just so happens it's Rene Leverett. Allen is 2 for 3 today with a run scored and 2 RBIs and a walk. In the 7th, he picked up an RBI. An RBI double. He also came around to score. First pitch, 92. Shot to Tinbrink at third. Tinbrink collected throw to Blackwood for the third out as John Kovalik sends them 3 up, 3 down. 2 strikeouts. Kansas City trailing 11-6. They have 3 more outs to score 5 or more. 5 ties it as they trail 11-6 here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
That great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Lincoln. Appears it's Clayton Cook. He'll see the 3, 4, and 5, the heart of the lineup for the T-Bones duo, Massey, Blackwood, and Gallus. First pitch to Massey is a fastball in the outer half at 96, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. This is Sam King filling in for Nathan Moore. T-Bones trailing 11-6, having 3 more outs to score 5 or more. Next pitch is outside, make that 1-1. This is Cook's second appearance in this series. Last night, he only went a third of an inning and struck out the only batter he faced. So far this season, he's only pitched in 6 games. Has yet to allow a run in 5 1/3, struck out 9 while walking 1. Next pitch is high and outside, 2-1 now from Clayton Cook. So far today, Tyler Massey has been a bright spot for the T-Bones as he tries to pull that over the right field fence but comes up empty. Counts now 2-2. Massey is 2 for 3 with a run scored, walking along the way. The 2-2 is outside. That draws the count full. Fans don't like it, but it was the right call. It was just slightly outside. On deck for Kansas City's number 10, Jake Blackwood. Clayton Cook was a 9th-round draft pick in 2008 by the Cleveland Indians. He's originally from Amarillo, Texas. As Massey fouls that back, count remains full. He was drafted straight out of high school. This is his first season in independent baseball. The payoff pitch is fouled back again. In 2015, Clayton Cook found his way to the Atlanta Braves organization. The highest level that he has reached is AA, doing that with Cleveland last year in Akron as a teammate of Anthony Gallus and Jordan Cooper. The payoff pitch once again. Massey once again pops that in the air, tailing foul, and it does out of play into the suites. That ball hung up in the air forever. Count remains full. Last season with high A in Cleveland and Atlanta, and then AA in Cleveland as well, he went 4-2 with a 5.01 ERA. In 46 and 2/3, he made 3 starts and 25 total appearances. Struck out 31 and walked 34. He's got a lot of velocity. Full count, payoff pitch, here we go. Massey fouls it back. That one at 98 miles an hour is Clayton Cook getting close to 100. Payoff pitch once again is high and outside, and Tyler Massey walks to lead off the 9th. Second walk of the season surrendered by Cook. That brings up Jake Blackwood. It'll be righty versus righty. Blackwood loves to hit the fastballs. Cook loves to throw the fastball. So far today, Jake Blackwood is 0 for 1. 1 walk, 2 sacrifices. On those 2 sacrifices, he's picked up 2 RBIs. Productive day from the T-Bones 4-hole hitter. Comes on now with the runner on first. T-Bones trailing 11-6. Here at the top of the 9th, and no one down. First pitch, Blackwood tries to send that over the fence. It's power versus power at 97, just by him. No balls, 1 strike. Why wouldn't he swing for the fences here? Team trailing by 5. These 2 runs could come up big. The 0-1 is low. That evens the count now at 1 to Blackwood. Kansas City not giving up. Only trailing by 5. Lincoln scored 7 in the bottom of the 7th. So 1-1. Blackwood pops in the air. Tailing foul past the net. It's now 1-2. That landed right in front of me. If I really wanted a foul ball, I should have jumped out my window and gone and grabbed that. But I guess I'll settle for the kid in the blue bro tank. Taking him back to his future girlfriend. No 1-2 to Blackwood. Or maybe current girlfriend. I don't know people's personal lives. They don't pay me to know that. 1-2 to Jake Blackwood. Runner on first. No one down. Infield actually just playing straight up. T-Bones trailing 11-6 here on the top of the 9th. Oh, 1-2. Rings Blackwood up on the outer half. He's not leaving the box. He's not happy. And that's the first out. Exchanges words with the Luis Allen. And then walks off. 1 down for Kansas City. To be honest, I couldn't tell if that was in the zone or not. So I will not have an opinion. Anthony Gallus steps in. Anthony Gallus turned things around, or hopefully does. Gallus is 1 for 4 today with a run and an RBI. And that run and RBI is part of a RBI triple in the 5th. First pitch to Gallus is a fastball at 96, down Broadway. No balls, 1 strike. Runner on first and 1 down. Runner on first is Tyler Massey. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Counts now even at 1. Kansas City trailing by 5. Has 2 more outs to score. Those 5 or more. Gallus. 1 swing can get 2 back. And we'd settle actually for just getting the 1 back and then working to get the other 4 back. 1-1 count to Gallus. Allen setting up outside. Gallus pops it in the air. That's going to stay in play. Rene Leverett calls off everybody and squeezes it for the 2nd out. Kansas City down to their final out to score 5 or more. You see Nate Tinbrink. Tinbrink is 0 for 3 today with the walk. Gallus not happy that he just got right under that ball. A mini tirade in the dugout. It brings up Nate Tinbrink. The left-handed hitter will be facing the right-handed pitcher. The runner on first and 2 down with the T-Bones trailing 11-6. First pitch, Tinbrink rolls over foul. No balls, 1 strike down the first baseline. Kansas City will be back tomorrow. They start a 6-game homestand. The first 3 against Winnipeg, Friday through Sunday at Community America Ballpark. You can watch that live on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. That'll be brought to you by the Nathan Moore, Matt Folks. The 0-1 is low, counts even at 1. Then they start the 3-game series against Gary, Monday through Wednesday. Those as well can all be heard on the T-Bones Broadcast Network at Community America Ballpark. First 2 games, Friday and Saturday, against Winnipeg are at 7:05. Tinbrink lines that down the first baseline. Massey advances to second on the Nate Tinbrink single. Tinbrink jogs into first, putting runners on first and second with 2 down. Kansas City staying alive. Tinbrink picking up the hit. That's now 1 for 4 today. That brings up Vladimir Frias. Frias, his 2 for 4 today with the run scored and an RBI. As he begins to turn things around in this road trip. He's also currently riding an 8-game hitting streak, and that was extended today. Picked up his 3rd multi-8 game in this 10-game road trip. First pitch to Frias. Sends down the right field line. That's going to stay fair. And that'll score Massey. Tinbrink getting waved around, but hold up at 3rd now. As Vladimir Frias gets a run back on the RBI double. Kansas City now trailing 7-11. As I have yet to give up with 2 down, and neither have the T-Bones, and I hope you listeners haven't as well. Second RBI double for Vladimir Frias. He's now 3 for 5. Pitching coach Dan Reichert will go out and talk to Cook. Clayton Cook was supposed to come in and just shut the T-Bones down. The T-Bones are trailing by 5. But so far, he's given up a run, a walk, and 2 hits in his relief appearances, which is now 2/3 of an inning. That brings up the backstop, Brian Erie. Erie is 0 for 4 today, batting out of the 8th hole. He comes on now. The runners on 2nd and 3rd, and 2 down. Nate Tinbrink on 3rd, Vladimir Frias on 2nd. T-Bones trail 7-11, both teams with multi-hits. Double-digit hits is what I should say, actually. First pitch to Erie is high and outside, 1-0. T-Bones sitting at 10 hits. Salt Dogs sitting at 11, both teams at 2 errors apiece. Those 2 low-scoring affairs to start the series, 7-11 sounds about right. Outside to Erie, counts now 2-0. Clayton Cook signed with the Salt Dogs on the 4th of July. He was a former 9th-round draft pick by the Indians. Fastball in the zone. Erie doesn't like it at 96 miles an hour. 2-1 count. John Mazzarelli didn't like it either. I could hear him in the dugout. I got to say, that looked like he was about ankle height. The 2-1. Erie sends it out to left field. That looks like it's going to drop, but it does not, as it's brought in by the left fielder, Brandon Jacobs. And the T-Bones lose 7-11. This drops the T-Bones overall record to 26-33 as they go 4-6 on this 10-game road trip. Lincoln picks up the win, their 2nd in a row. They won last night, 34-24, as they strengthen their division lead. Kansas City now trails 8.5, back behind the Salt Dogs. Kansas City will return home for a 6-game homestand, the first 3 at Winnipeg. Friday and Saturday, the game starts at 7:05. On Sunday, it starts at 1:05. And then they start a 3-game series at home against Gary South Shore. All of those start times are at 7:05 at Community America Ballpark. Matt Folks or Nathan Moore will be on the call for those. But with the T-Bones at home, why wouldn't you just attend the beautiful Community America Ballpark? That's right across from the Legends Shopping Center. Tickets can be bought by visiting the T-Bones box office or visiting tbonesbaseball.com. Again, T-Bones losing this one 11-7. We'll be back shortly with the full postgame here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Welcome back to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. The T-Bones lose 11-7 to the Lincoln Salt Dogs, thanks to a 7-run seventh inning by Lincoln. Only 2 Salt Dogs did not touch the plate in that inning. One of them struck out looking, the other one cleared the bases with a 3-run double, I should say. Kansas City overall record has dropped to 26-33. Lincoln now 34-24, and a tough pill to swallow in a game where the T-Bones led for majority of the point as they clinged to a 6-4 lead going into the 7th. Then Lincoln scored 7, the most they've scored in an inning this year. Kansas City had a little too late, I guess you should say, scoring a run at the top of the 9th. As Tyler Massey walked to get things going, then 2 outs by Blackwood and Gallus put 2 outs on the board. Nate Tinbrink singled, putting Massey on second. And then an RBI double by Vladimir Frias brought that run home. Taking the loss for Kansas City is Evan DeLuca. DeLuca is now 2-2 on the season. He pitched a third of an inning, giving up 2 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned while walking 1 and striking out 1. Picking up the win for Lincoln was Ryan Davis. That's Davis's first decision in Lincoln. He's now 1-0 in the season with he pitched 1 1/3, giving him no hits, no runs, walking 1 and striking 1 out. Both starting pitchers struggled early. Josh Hodges pitched 5 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs. 3 of them were earned, while walking 5 and striking out 4. Lincoln starter Matt Larkins, who had been fantastic all year, gave up 5 innings and 7 hits, giving up 6 runs. 4 of them were earned, while walking 2 and striking 2 out. Lincoln's bullpen came in and shut everything down. Ryan Davis, like I said, went 1 1/3. And they actually give the win to Steven Shackelford. He's 3-2 on the season after he went 2/3, giving up 1 hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Evan DeLuca still hung with the loss. Brad Orsi came in after Shackelford and went 1 inning. Took care of the 3 batters he faced on groundouts and flyouts. Clayton Cook came in the top of the 9th and ran into some trouble. He pitched 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned while walking 1 and striking 1 out. Kansas City's bullpen on the other half, Brett Zawacki came in and pitched 2/3 of an inning, but he left the game with the bases loaded. His final stat line is no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Evan DeLuca came in and pitched that third of an inning, giving up 2 hits, 3 runs. All of them were earned while walking 1 and striking 1 out. Aaron Baker came in after Evan DeLuca to try to weather the storm, and it only got worse for Baker. Baker pitched 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 4 runs. All of them were earned while walking 3 and striking 1 out. John Kovalik was the bright spot of the T-Bones bullpen today. He came in at the bottom of the 8th and pitched 1 inning, striking 2 out, and a dominating performance from the acquisition from Gary South Shore. The bright spot with the bats for the T-Bones, it's abundance. Brett Wiley went 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. Tyson Gillies snapped his 8-game hitting streak. He went 0 for 4, but he did score a run on a walk. Tyler Massey went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, 2 walks. Jake Blackwood went 0 for 2, picked up 2 RBIs and a walk and a strikeout along the way. Anthony Gallus went 1 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI with a strikeout. Nate Tinbrink in his return went 1 for 4 with a walk. Vladimir Frias had the day of them all with 3 for 5 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Dalton Wheat went 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI along the way. Only 2 T-Bones went a hit list, and Jake Blackwood had 2 sacrificed RBIs. Brian Erie went 0 for 5 today. For Lincoln, the former T-Bone, Robbie Coosdale, hurt us bad. He went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs, getting walked 3 times. Luis Allen went 2 for 4 with a run scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk. As only 1 Salt Dog went hit list, and it was Rene Leverett, who scored 2 runs. The player of the game would have to go to Robbie Coosdale for that 2 for 3 performance. We'll be back on the air tomorrow to start the 6-game homestand at this 10-game road trip. I plan on just napping all day tomorrow. Winnipeg will be at Community America Ballpark. First pitch at 7:05. I recommend you either go or listen or watch live, actually, since it's at home on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Either Nathan Moore or Matt Folks will be on the call for that one. You'll love either one of them, probably more than you love me. As after 10 games, I'm sure you're getting sour of hearing my voice. And to be honest, I can't blame you. Anyways, the T-Bones lose 11-7 tonight as they drop this season series. As they drop this series, not the season series, to Lincoln. That drops the T-Bones overall record at 26-33, improves Lincoln to 34-24. Coming into today, the season series was tied at 4. The all-time series was tied at 49. The T-Bones are now behind in that series, 49-50. And with 3 more games to go, 3 of them being at Community America Ballpark, Lincoln holds a 5-4 series lead. Last season, Kansas City won the series 6-4. So there's still hope yet for the T-Bones. All-Star break coming up soon. A huge congratulations still goes out to Mark Haynes for his first All-Star appearance. We'll be back on the air tomorrow. It won't be me. It'll be somebody better. This is Sam King signing off, telling you to stay safe out there, and thank you for listening.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.